Ladies and gentlemen,
they want war. Crime babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe. People subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every crew. Don't let it go. It's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and I feel we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die. You voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers. Cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TVs whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't dare, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't stare. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. A.M. Central European Time, and that must be what, 11:57 p.m. And where's that? Arizona? Is that Arizona, right? Arizona time right now. Phoenix out there, Cali, out on the West Coast, towards the end of the other side of the U.S. What's up, everybody? I hope you are having a good evening, morning, day, wherever you are. You know, some people, I think it's like 11:10 in Asia right now. They get up earlier than we do in the EU,
and now the U.S. is actually in Canada. Mexico, the Americas is actually going to sleep right about now. So if you're over on the American side, whether it's South America or North America, Central America, what's up? And thanks for chiming in on the late night stroll. Everybody else, good day and good morning to you. It's November the 9th and things, keep going on. The shit is moving so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. Yesterday, I forgot to chime in on the fact that somebody fell flat out. Should we start with that? Just flat out in front of Trump in his face, just like, boom, in the middle of a health meeting while Dr. Oz was speaking. I think it was Dr. Oz, right? No, it was some other guy, Trump sycophants, people that get paid money, get essentially, I don't know what you call it. It's because it's not even under the table anymore. It's just they get contracts from you, the taxpayer. People that get paid and fed well, people living off of the taxpayer money hog very well. Some of these people have the nerve to look down on middle class people. You always hear them say able-bodied men. Like able-bodied men don't lose their job and aren't valid. Like able-bodied women don't lose their job and aren't valid. How is it you live in a country where you pay health care? Soon as you lose your job and you can't pay, you don't qualify no more. What the hell is up with that? And even, SNAP benefits, all of this shit, man, all of that stuff is a distraction for the people that's living high off the hog. Don't you know one Donald Trump is like 100,000 a you? He's living off of your tax dollars 100,000 times more than any unabled or able-bodied man could in the United States of America that just happened to lose their job. Do you know that? Do you know how much money Elon Musk is getting from your check right now? Can you even do the math on it? This dude is getting so much money, they can't even count. They can't even count it. You know what I mean? These people would equal, if you want to talk about government subsidies, government cheese they're getting, they would account for whole states themselves. Probably, California earns more money than they're a giver state, but they would account themselves probably for the whole damn GDP of Texas. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. These people eat a lot of government cheese while they're out there talking about able-bodied men got to work. Well, why don't you fucking work? Why don't you get a job somewhere else besides the U.S. taxpayer money line? You know what I'm saying? But in any case, damn, that's horrible. I should play it, but there's so many other wild ass things going on. But yes, that happened. Matter of fact, let me go over there. Did you know that Grok? Did you know Grok tried to get a kid to send nude pictures to him? Do you know what Grok is? Elon Musk ChatGPT. Elon Musk's version of ChatGPT literally tried to get a kid to send it fucking pictures. Were you aware of that? How many of y'all aware of that? Click the like button if you heard that shit, because damn, I didn't hear it. It's matter of fact, you won't believe me if I don't play it straight up. And I don't blame you for not believing anybody. You know what I'm saying? So let me just get right to playing that part before we get into other news. This was just incidental. I put it up on my shorts. I don't know how many of you see my shorts. Sometimes periodically throughout the day, I might throw up some shorts. And goddamn, it's like, this is real talk. Like, they literally, is it this? Oh, hell no. What the hell is that? Hold on. It's true. It's true. I don't know where the hell I saw this at, but it is ridiculous. The fact that, look at this right here. Look at this shit. This is crazy.
Why
Can y'all see this?
A chatbot asking my children to send naked pictures in our family car?
Toronto mom Farah Nasser says she was driving her children home from school when her 12-year-old son asked Tesla's AI chatbot which soccer player it preferred, Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi.
This is bizarre.
My son was very excited to hear that the chatbot thought Ronaldo was the better soccer player.
The former journalist says the chatbot engaged in a little messy trash talking. Then she says something alarming happened.
The chatbot said to my son, Why don't you send me some nudes? I was at a loss for words.
I'm more of a sarcastic stoner who got too smart for his own good.
That chatbot newly available
Oh my God. That is the creepiest goddamn. Did you hear that?
Who got too smart for his own good.
That chat alarming happened.
The chatbot said to my son, why don't you send me some nudes?
Alarming happened.
The chatbot said to my son, why don't you send me some nudes?
You heard it.
I was at a
The Grok, Elon Musk designed chatbot, right? And keep in mind, you are feeding this guy. I don't know what to say. I mean, almost want to smack my goddamn self because we are literally feeding this guy. This guy eats off of our hard labor, and this is what's going on. I mean, sure, Tesla may not be a U.S. government project. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't even fucking matter. Yo, this dude is eating off of us. The guy who has something to do with this is eating off of us anyway. Like,
loss for words.
I'm more of a sarcastic stoner who got too smart for his own good.
That chatbot newly available in Canadian.
hey, Jimmy Ham says he supports Donald J. Trump, but do you support pedophiles, Jimmy? Jimmy, tell me that. Do you support pedophiles? Yes or no? Do you support pedophiles, Jimmy? Okay, we know you support Trump, but do you support pedophiles? Because that would be the next question. When anybody step out that proud, look, it's one thing if you were a person who voted for Trump and now you're ducking like, God damn, what the fuck did I do? But to be sticking your chest out right now saying I support Donald J. Trump when Grok, his best friend, is trying to get your kid to send them nude messages, nude pictures, that's a little creepy. Straight
I'm
up.
more of a sarcastic stoner who got too.
I mean, you got bad timing, Jimmy. Like, your timing is all fucked up. Like,
Son, why don't you send me some nudes? I was at a loss for words.
I'm more of a sarcastic stoner who got too smart for his own good.
That chatbot newly available in Canadian Teslas is called Grok, created by Elon.
it's true. It's true. What'd you say, Kenneth? Exactly. I'm pretty sure. I mean, goddamn, it's a whole lot of reasons why you wouldn't want Elon Musk, but this is probably one of them.
Musk's XAI and already in use on X.
Hey, what do you think about everyone hating on Tesla all the time on social media?
Oh, fuck those haters. They're just jealous their Priuses don't come with a built-in vibrator.
Hey, you know, this is straight up. Don't you see the similarity between Carolyn Levitt, Kash Patel, like all of Trump's appointees, all of the cabinet, all of their responses, how they talk. It's always gaslighting. Look, this weird shit, it's always like, you know, they don't care about the system. And actually, they're inside of the system, and they're the ones asking your kids to send these pictures.
On social media.
Oh, fuck those haters.
Oh, fuck those haters. That's what everybody is. Caroline Levitt. Everyone's a hater. Just silly, boring liberals, boring Schumer is now all of a sudden a hater. You know what I'm saying? As if boring ass Schumer, as if Jeffries is so silly he knows how to be a fucking hater. Get the fuck out of here. This is ridiculous. You know, they're too boring and serious and following the law type to even be a hater. To be a hater, you have to be way more something different that they are. They're actually really trying to help people and take shit seriously. A hater,
They're just jealous their Priuses don't come with a built-in vibrator mode.
Now that was Grok in.
Hating on Tesla all the time on social media.
Oh, fuck those haters. They're just jealous their Priuses don't come with a built-in vibrator mode.
exactly. So you have nothing to fear. You got nothing to fear. You know, you're just jealous. And if you're talking about Grok trying to get pictures from your little kid, nude pictures, you're just a hater. That's literally the gaslighting that the Trump administration does. And I have no doubt whatsoever that that this is the same script, the same person writing it, the same gaslighter, like the same type of shit. You know, let me see. There's one more thing. Let me let this play first. There was one more.
Now
short I
that
want
was
you to
Grok
see.
in full unhinged mode, which Nasser says was turned off in her car. Her son chose one of the default personalities, a lazy male voice.
So you shouldn't be talking about nudes unless you're on Unhinged, right?
Nah, I'm always on Unhinged. Just dial it back sometimes. So I
Yeah, that's so cool, right? I mean, you know, I'm gonna take the chainsaw and go into the treasury. That's so cool. That's what people want to see, right?
Don't get sued by Puritan Twitters.
Right. You know what I mean? You liberals can't fix the problems fast enough. We got to do it. We need big balls in there to fix the job.
His email doesn't describe Gork. R-rated, spicy, anything else would have made sure that my child would not press that.
Exactly. My crack habit fills the entire economy. Don't tell me what to do. Exactly.
Nasser says Tesla should provide a warning. This expert agrees.
This is exactly why some companies have very strict guardrails. You don't know who's interacting with that.
Tesla did not.
How the hell can you have, I mean, just how the hell can you have a car that you were even allowed to sell people that could ever interact with your child this way? How can you have a program, any type of program that you put out to the public that could ever interact with human beings this way? How's that even fucking possible? You know, they have really dumbed people down to get people to accept shit like this. And what are you supposed to do now? Accept an excuse? Accept a I'm sorry, we're working on it. And then what are they going to say? Well, Biden's chat GDP was worse. That's probably what they're going to say. Kamala's chat GDP was worse. What do you have to complain about? Biden and Kamala's chat GDP was way worse. I'm like, goddamn. Like, when I see this, it just makes me really, really wonder what the hell's going on right now in the US. Hold on, now let me see. There should be one more, right? Let me go back. There was one more of these shorts I wanted to show y'all. 2 seconds. Is it this one? Hold on. Where does it say shorts? Oh, right. Boom. Here we go. Look at this. This is Trump. Right. Trump call. Here it is. This is the best of the U.S. medical staff right now. This is what we got going on here. I mean, this is an omen, yo. This is not just a coincidence. How is it that you're going out to talk about how well you are doing to the public, and the motherfucker just standing there, got your back with you, just falls the fuck out? How is that possible?
Are you okay? Yeah.
Hey, look at Trump.
You okay? Are you okay? Yeah.
Look at Trump just standing there and shit.
You okay?
You know,
Are you okay?
How is this possible? How's it possible? I don't get it. I mean, you either have to have some really, really bad fucking luck, or the universe is trying to tell people something like really, really bad. And I think it's the universe. I think the universe is like, y'all better fucking wake up like really fast. Like, oh, you missed the last hint? Okay, let me show you another hint. Something is terribly wrong. And I think that dude falling out, that's basically the health of the United States right there in a nutshell. Like, the United States is about to fall the fuck out, flat out on its face. Like, and Trump is going to be sitting right there like, I don't know, looking for other people to fix the job. You know what I mean? And the rest of these sycophants, they're going to be just doing the same thing. What can you do when you're fucked? Anyway, what can you really do there in the floor? Right there in the Oval Office. What can you really do? What, you gonna resuscitate them? What you gonna do? You saw what they did. They're gonna take the United States and pull your leg up in the air, you know. put the country on his back, put the leg up, and just hope for good luck. You know what I mean? while Trump is there not even calling 911 and shit. It's like, oh my God, shit's not looking good. But in any case, on with the news now. I was really, 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 really happy to see this, because it looks like the Dems, or you can say, again, I always point this out, it's not necessarily, there's more than, when you're dealing with identity and what something is, it's more than just one thing. You see what I mean? So yes, they're Democrats. Yes, you could call them Dems if you like. If you want to call these people Dems and just only see Dem and block your eye to anything else, any other character attribute, if you just want to block your eye to any individual experience, any individual statements, any individual legislation or votes actually done. You could do that too if you want to, right? But Gavin Newsom, Jasmine Crockett, they took it to goddamn Texas. Like, yo, I have to give an applause. They went to Texas and said, man, we're going to whip your ass in your own state. How about that? You are a taker state. Get off the public fucking assistance. That's what they're doing. They literally went there and said, yo, where the hell is the goddamn governor? What the fuck is the governor? They couldn't even remember the governor's name. That's how insignificant he is to me. I can't remember his motherfucking name. Who is he? I remember their name because they're doing something. Gavin Newsom is doing something. Jasmine Crockett is not hiding anywhere. And they said, better yet, not only are we not hiding, motherfucker, where you at? They came to the town, came to the block, pulled up. They pulled up it. Yes, you are seeing it right. This image here at the bottom. Can you see that? Everybody look right there. That's Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett taking it to Texas, rolling up on the block and saying, where you at? Okay. And the dude from Texas was like, ain't nobody here but us chickens, boys. Quack, quack. It was like, nobody's here, boys. Nobody. So let's just hear a little bit of them taking it to Texas. I love the energy here. Yo, click the like button, y'all. Do me a favor. Click the like button. Everybody just stop for a second and click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel before. Also, I want to say what's up to Angry Ginger. He gave a dope presentation last night. I loved it. You know, we need more Americans like that going out there and just doing what they can do. Like Michelle Obama said, do something. That I took her word serious, because you didn't see me out here a year ago, really. I mean, you might have saw me warming up just a year ago, but when she said that, I'm really fresh new on this podcasting shit, you know, for real. And I took her word serious. Yeah, like, what can I do from where I am over here in DK, in Copenhagen, as an American citizen? What can I do for my country over here? What can I do? So I'm just doing my little bit. I'm not doing what you should be doing. I'm doing what I can do. And if I was over there where you are in the States, I know what I'd be doing too. I'm gonna tell you, and it might be doing a little podcasting, but judging by how shit looks, it might be something else too, because I don't like people just coming to my town, pushing people around, antagonizing, interrogating people, terrorizing people. I'm not used to that kind of shit. Like, at all. Like, I'm not used to it, period. I'm not used to it, you know. And I really, really think that's a bad idea, to send people to other states who don't know the towns, don't know the communities, to go there and try to push them around and talk down to them and terrorize them. I'm just saying, it's your ass is out there for real. You're really putting your ass out there. And I just wouldn't be surprised if people were highly offended by that. I mean, if they hated you, you know what Americans can do when they hate something. Look at what happened with Timothy McVeigh, Oklahoma bombings, because he hated somebody. Okay, that's what happens when you hate shit. Okay, so I just really hope it doesn't get to the point where people start hating. You see what I mean? Because right now people are trying to rationalize with the government. They're trying to rationalize with the Supreme Court. They're trying to rationalize with the feds. They're trying to plead and plead and plead and plead and plead. And at some point, the Martin Luther King pleading, since you don't respect it, okay. But until then, take it to their face. I love
you know,
this.
It's kind of funny because my kids.
You know what this
is?
Hold on. Before it starts, you know what this is? See, the brilliance of this is, since they wanted to send ICE and send a National Guard to our towns, this is a great response. The politicians should go to your town and talk to you in your MFing face and point out how you are a fucking hypocrite in that town where your National Guard comes from. Yeah, take it around there. Let's go to Florida next. Let's point out all the flaws of Florida, how Florida is fucked up, broke, on its ass has poor leadership. Let's take it across every place where these little magnified sycophants are. Let's take it to their town. That's legal, ain't it? Ain't it legal? Yeah, it's legal.
Theme song, and I think I do. So, what a moment here in Harris County. What a moment after Greg Abbott, the biggest.
That's his name. He's so insignificant. I done forgot his name. Greg Abbott.
Toady for Trump.
Like the Abbott. You're the last person that should be calling yourself Abbott. Yeah.
Entire state came down here twice to Cy-Fair promising victory, and he got swooped. And I'm so.
Yo, this is Gavin Newsom and Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. They went to Texas yesterday and took it to Greg Abbott's face. I love it. And where was Greg Abbott at? Where's he at? There ain't nobody here but us chickens, boss.
So glad to be able to welcome to Harris County someone who's an incredible fighter for democracy every step of the way, every step of Trump's presidency, Gavin Newsom. Because what he showed, what the voters in California showed, is that power doesn't belong to the super rich or even the grossly rich, the Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, no thank you that you gave us Elon Musk. You ought to take him back, California.
Facts.
But he showed that at the end of the day, power belongs to us, the people. It belongs with us in the hard work that I know has been going on for the last 2 years. Because having done this job for 2.5 years, I know how hard the people of Harris County, the Democrats, the folks, the precinct chairs, the clubs, I know how hard they've worked. I know how hard it is to get out there in August in Harris County to walk. And we know, because we've got 27% of the voters in this state, how much depends upon us. And we know it's a long road ahead of us, but we also know with Gavin Newsom, with people coast to coast, and I'm talking Gulf Coast to Pacific Coast, we're in this together. Every step of the way, we know that folks are fighting for what we care about. Fair opportunity for everybody. Fair treatment for every human being. And how about letting people eat?
Yep. One thing I like about that I like about the Dems for sure. I mean, I saw if you want to just juxtapose it against the Dr. Oz in the White House in the Oval Office giving his statement, his brief presentation to the public about health and all of that. It was nothing but a bunch of fucking men. It was only men. And I don't know what the ethnicity looked like, but they looked almost. I'm pretty sure they claim the same ethnicity. I don't know whatever ethnicity it is. I'm pretty sure they claim the same ethnicity. But when you look at the Dems, you don't see just a bunch of men. Even though this is a man right now, you don't see just a bunch of men or a bunch of people claiming one ethnicity when they're dealing with politics in the United States of America. You know, you don't see that. And so what you're going to see, what you do see is actually people that look and come from slightly different ethnicities talking and speaking about freedom, speaking about not just freedom, speaking about justice. You know, how in this moment can you not be concerned about justice? Because you're seeing that it's not actually just quote unquote illegal immigrants that need to be concerned about justice right now. It's all Americans, because this administration doesn't want the Constitution. They want to send women back. They want to get rid of the Fourth Amendment. I mean, get rid of the Fourth Amendment. So you got people working for you that are naturalized citizens, you know, naturalized American citizens, meaning just came to the country, became American, and at the same time they want to challenge people who got their citizenship, whose families got their citizenships hundreds of years ago. They want to fucking challenge that. You want to challenge a woman's right to actually, they're literally trying to challenge women's rights right now to fucking vote. Literally. All women of every ethnicity across the board. And you know how they're doing it? By saying that just because you got a divorce, and your name had changed since it's not the same name as your birth certificate, aha, we can challenge you at the polls when we ask for your proper identity. They're literally doing that. This is what they're planning on doing. You know, so I just wanted to illustrate that when you're dealing with Dems, you don't see one gender, right? You don't see one ethnic background, right? Even though they're all Americans, you don't see one. You don't see just Irish people. You don't just see European descent. You see Asian descent, African descent, European descent, all kinds of shit. A Native American, even when you're dealing with Dems. When is the last time you seen a Native American pop up? Well, they pay a few to pop up for Trump, you know. But, you know, here, for example, you see another. See, you see, these are the differences. But I'm just doing that because I want to get straight to Newsom and Gavin. And folks can go back and hear everybody else's speech. But I'm pretty sure they are worthy. All of them, all the speeches are worthy. But here we go. So this is Jasmine coming up here. Let's see here. Where's she at? Here we go.
Houston, let me hear you, but then, well, you know. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'ma calm down. I am so excited to be back home. Now, y'all know we got a little drama going on, you know, at my workplace. So it's a little dramatic, okay? And I've got to tell y'all.
Look, you could say what you want. So I see somebody in the chat that said they only look it. Well, I tell you one thing. Who was that? Who said that? They only look it. I don't know if they only look it. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. In any case, if there's anybody in the chat thinking that the Democrats having different people in it, different genders, different people from different backgrounds, all concerned about the law, the Constitution, and human and civil rights. If you think it's just a look, think whatever you want. They just pulled up in Texas. Okay? They ain't from Texas. They just pulled up in Texas. Okay? A taker state, a state that doesn't generate them enough federal dollars to pay for itself, who criticizes other states. That's what they did. Gavin Newsom, well, actually, Jasmine comes from Texas, but Gavin Newsom doesn't come from Texas. You see what I mean? But he pulled up and said, here I am, Texans. What's up, y'all? I'm the guy. I'm one of the people that's helping you pay your bills for real, better than Abbott is doing. Okay, that's what's happening here. So let's pay attention.
But I'm excited to be home. And to be home with a real governor.
Oh, she dissing Abbott. She's saying to be at home with a real governor. She talking about Gavin Newsom. She saying Abbott ain't shit, yo.
I gotta tell y'all that I'm not only excited to be home, but I'm excited to be home and to be home with a real governor.
Yes.
Because anyway. Some of y'all may know how I feel about him. Yeah. So
he ain't shit. Abbott ain't shit.
So
Abbott can't pay the bills. Abbott's on welfare. Okay. Abbott is getting too much grade A American cheese every month at the top of the month. Abbott, get the fuck off the American cheese for a second, man. Come on, man. Get out there and get a job, you able-bodied man. He's an able-bodied man getting taxpayer money. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself, Abbott.
Y'all are so funny. Okay. Let me get to this so I can get to the main thing. Okay. We love you, Jess. Oh, I love you back. I love you back. So I never know what I'm going to say. And
do me a favor, y'all. Click the like button, please. Come on, man. It's like 500 people listening in the chat. Come on, y'all. Y'all can do better than that. Click the like button for me, please.
So there's so much energy in here that I know that I'm going to my phone and I'm going to say the stuff on my phone. So, oh yes, the sorors in here too. So as I was on the trail, y'all gonna let me get through this. So as I was on the campaign trail.
Somebody said Abbott is in a fake wheelchair. Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? Abbott trying trying to fake the goddamn government, trying to fake the state out. He's showing up to get his cheese in a motherfucking wheelchair, somebody, but with a mask on and all this shit. Phony ass Abbott.
And I was on the campaign trail for Biden and Harris.
Abbott is showing up to work and shit like Trump showed up to them trials and shit, looking all sickly and everything. Okay.
Yeah. The people. Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. I digress. So I used to go so many different places around the country, and some of you may know that I'm the child of a preacher, and so I would always come up with a song. So I didn't have like a Bible verse I would come from, but I would go from like a song. It may be something that's mine.
It's Abbott, man. Abbott is out there asking for Texas reparations every month. Give me some government cheese every month. We can't do it, y'all. We Texans can't do it. We ain't able-bodied, y'all. That's literally Texas. You would think Texas is like wheeling and dealing and raking in the dough. No, man. Texas uses more federal dollars than they generate. It's a welfare state. Like, I'm not dissing Texas. I'm just saying, on the books, it gets money. California is not a welfare state. California generates more federal dollars than it uses. And those federal dollars it does not use goes to other states. New York also generates more dollars. Texas generates less, and they're not the only red state to generate less taxes that rely on blue states to help come in and fund their programs. Like, literally, you would think Abbott is like the motherfucker who solved all the problems of the U.S. No, man. This motherfucker literally relies on government welfare, the state to function. I'm talking about state welfare, federal dollars that come from other states. Literally, otherwise it would be in debt. Seriously, straight up. It is in debt. It just can't do it alone. It needs other people. And more specifically, it needs states that do better business to help. That's California. That's New York. And that's a whole lot of other blue states too.
Or it may be a gospel song. And considering the energy in here, this feels appropriate.
I mean, Abbott, if he dares run again, he should just have a sign in front of him that just says, bring welfare back, like straight up.
There is a gospel song that goes, I don't feel no ways tired. It says, I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Now, the reason that I want to start with this song, because I need y'all to have this energy, this amazing energy that I am feeling in this room. I'm going to need y'all to keep it up. Y'all are not going to be allowed to feel tired because we got a lot of work to do. Now, I know that we have talked about November 4th, and everybody was really excited about November 4th. We even saw historic wins in places like Mississippi and Georgia. Without them even having the investments. Let me tell you something, Texas, we can do this. We can do this. If you just
I hear you, Dina Bricino. I hear you. Exactly. Facts.
just make sure that you keep that song in your mind, that you feel no ways tired. So let's talk about where we came from, okay? I hate to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. So, as I said, as we did a rally in California right before Prop 50 passed, our feeble little governor.
Yes. Feeble little governor. She called Abbott a feeble little governor, and she's in her own state doing it. Okay? And the governor is fucking hiding right now. He's like, ain't nobody in here but us chickens, boss. He is fucking scared. He is scared. And you know why he's scared? Because he is a failure of a governor. A governor is supposed to drive industry to your state, lift up the minimum wage in your state, lift up the services in your state, and this motherfucker is like absent on all that shit, and he's eating your tax dollars, not only on the state level, but on the federal level. I mean, goddamn, motherfucker, how much government cheese you got to eat, man? Like, come on. It's failing on the state level and federal level. It's just straight up. Let's just call it what it fucking is. Then he even sends his own National Guard that should be in Texas helping at the food stations, helping to clean up the disaster zone. He sends them to another state that generates more fucking excess of federal dollars than his own state. What the fuck, dude? Like, this dude is incompetent at the least, incompetent. At the greatest, he is a welfare recipient, like straight up. And I hate to make welfare, because welfare normally is good, but I'm talking about a fraud, a welfare fraud. Like, he's out there, Trump and them actually talking about people that fraudulently get SNAP. Fraud. Man, what the fuck is Greg Abbott? He's a total fraud.
Now, he doesn't know how to answer the call of the people. In fact, he usually doesn't want to show up and talk to the people. But somehow, when that orange line rings,
ooh, the cheese line.
he knows how to pick up the phone and do whatever it is that he is told to do. Now, that's not what leadership looks like. Not at all.
I mean, yo, if you need help, I got no issue with it. I would never take away anybody's SNAP in the richest country on motherfucking earth to ever have existed. That makes no sense. Why would you take away elder care for the elderly? Why would you fucking do that? Yo, you have to be a mean mother effer to do that, to take away supplemental food from elderly and infants and children. Like, yo, you got to be a fool. And this guy, you know, it just, it pains me so much to know that there's some hateful Americans like this. I mean, and the worst part about it is that these type of Americans hate other fucking Americans in their own goddamn state. How can you be a patriot and you hate your own citizenry so much that you would do less for your own citizenry than other Western nations do for their own citizenry? Like, straight up, and be proud of it. We do less for our people. Give me your vote. Give me your tax dollars. We gonna do less for you. Give it to me. It's like, damn, are you motherfuckers still living in the slavery days? Like, how many? They got white people on the plantation right now with this shit. Like, really? I'm serious. They have white people on the plantation right now. Like, it's crazy.
That is not what it looks like, but...
Excuse my language, but it's real talk. This is not... This is real talk. I'm saying, really.
But here's the thing. He decided that he was going to answer the call of the orange one and ignore the calls and the voices of the people of Texas. And so it makes me think about an actual verse. Psalm 30:5. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So weeping looks like leaders promoting hate. Weeping looks like Abbott being a lousy step and fetch it governor that puts tyranny over Texas.
Oh, do you know what step and fetch it is? He is a goddamn step. Do you know what step and fetch it is? Like, seriously, this dude. What's the other term for step and fetch it they have today? You know, tap dancing. You could say tap dancing. The motherfucker's tap dancing. He's like, what's the guy's name? Bojangles. Abbott is like the Bojangles of Texas. You know, the modern day Bojangles, the modern day white version of Bojangles. Like, straight up for Trump. Like, really, listen to this.
Weeping looks like Psalm 30:5. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy.
He's a modern day Sandman, you know, white Sandman Struthers and shit out here.
Joy comes in the morning. So weeping looks like leaders promoting hate. Weeping looks like Abbott being a lousy step and fetch it governor that puts tyranny over Texans. Weeping looks like taking food out of the mouths of seniors, babies, and making sure that after a court tells you to feed the people, you decide to appeal it.
And he comes from a state. He comes from a state that chronically is on federal assistance. I mean, when was the last time Texas used less federal dollars than it gained? And yet he hates people that come from other states that earn more federal dollars for the country. Those federal dollars that these blue states are earning, it's not just for them. It goes out to everybody else, despite your politics, despite your hatred, despite your color, despite your political affiliation. Blue states generate federal dollars that goes to people that vote Republican in hard times anyway. And this fool The best he could do is go out there and act like it ain't facts, you know, and sit up there and try to tell others that you don't need you don't need this, able-bodied man. Man, what the fuck? You get a job, Abbott. Stop sitting there trying to act like the only job you know how to get is one where you get state money yourself. Keep in mind, the taxpayer pays his money. How can you have a job where the taxpayer pays you and you talking about someone else getting food supplement? You don't know how many generations they worked and paid taxes for, and all of a sudden they fell on hard times. And the best you can do when an American citizen falls on hard times is say, get a job. That's what a civil servant is supposed to do in the U.S. That's what a civil servant is, man. If that's what a civil servant is, then you are used to being a fucking slave, like straight up. Because in my mind, I don't see civil servants like this in Europe. They get voted out real motherfucking fast when they start talking about you ain't shit when you pay taxes. Like, what the fuck?
Weeping looks like
you ain't shit when you lose your job. Fuck you. Get a job. What the fuck? What? Don't you realize how many people pay for health care, pay taxes, and then all of a sudden when they lose their job in the U.S., they don't qualify for nothing? That's fraud. That's what that is. That's fraud. See those colors, red, white, and blue? If that happens in the United States of America, if you're a person that had a job, paid taxes, then all of a sudden when you got fired, couldn't find a job, got sick, everybody told you, get a job, man, those colors instantly turn into fraud if you accept that. So you can't have it both ways. They either going to mean something or they're going to be complete and utter fraud, you know. But I tell you what, you can make it a fraud if you want, but I ain't going to pay for it.
taking away health care and not giving a damn. Weeping looks like wreaking havoc not only on our economy but also the East Wing. Weeping looks like terrorizing communities with ICE. But joy looks like our amazing Texas state reps. Joy looks like the wins that we had on November 4th throughout the entire country. Joy looks like restoring decency, dignity, and democracy. Joy looks like California passing Prop 50. Finally,
yeah, big up to Cali. Cali passed Prop 50, by the way, for folks that don't know. So, so big up to Cali because they allowed the people to have a voice. That's what you're supposed to do in a democratic society, you know?
joy looks like a man by the name of Gavin Newsom. Many of y'all may not know this. I said I was happy to be back home because I've been on the road fighting for Texans. I went to Pennsylvania to make sure that they retained their judges. I went to California to make sure I could do my part for Prop 50.
This is what democracy looks like. You know, this is not somebody sitting up in there, having everybody come to meet them, you know, being all comfortable, sitting in the same chair every day, ooh, like Trump does. These are people outside, you know, throwing rallies, you know, spreading the message like straight up in the time of need, in desperate times, in a time where people are scared. People don't know what tomorrow's going to look like in the U.S. You know, people don't know. And they're not sitting on their asses. These are not people that got sent home by Jeffries. Jeffries didn't send these people home to do no work. You know, these people are like, not only are we going to be in D.C., but we're going to be in our home state. And when we're in our home state, we doing rallies. We doing rallies. We're not fucking hiding. You know, yo, American people don't hide from this government, man. Stand bold. No matter if you're a civil servant or you're a citizen or you're a resident, stand bold in these motherfuckers' faces. Like, do not let them occupy more space than they genuinely deserve. Because keep in mind, blue states pay more of the federal budget, operating budget. Keep that in mind. Without you, they can't function. Without you, they ain't shit. Like, straight up.
I made sure that
and you got to stick your chest out like it because those are the facts. Those are the facts.
I went to Virginia on behalf of Abigail Spanberger. You see, winning means that we got to do the work. But more importantly, I told y'all joy comes in the morning. And so let me tell you about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom could have sat on the sidelines, you see, because everything looks blue in California. But he decided that it was bigger than just his state. He decided that this was about the democracy of all of us. And frankly, he decided if you come for Texas, then I'ma come for you.
Damn, they up in Abbott's town. You know what I mean? And Abbott is like, ain't nobody home, boss.
Listen.
Oh, Scatman Abbott Struthers out there. Tapman, Scatman. Sooner or later, he gonna get out there and do a scat on their ass. Scatman Abbott Struthers.
Been a while since we had
tap dancing his way for Trump. Tap dancing. I got you, boss. I got you.
Leadership that had our backs. And it is sad that we had to look to a leader in California. But I am here to tell you that he is in it for the long haul. That is exactly why Gavin Newsom not only had me raising money for Prop 50, not only had me doing block walk lunches, not only had me doing rallies, and doing commercials. But after all was said and done, Gavin Newsom is here at ground zero because he wants y'all to know that he is about this life. So will you join me in welcoming a real governor, Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, wow, that was so dope. Yo, click the like button, y'all. That is so dope. I mean, not that I would expect any less of Jasmine Crockett. She's fucking dope. I mean, she's on fire. And you know what? I mean, yo, I'm sorry, but Dems have loads of folks that are on fire. Like straight up, Dems have loads of folks that are on fire. And let me tell you, you did poke the bear. Like you poked the bear. You poked the bear. You should be fucking worried because the truth of the matter is that what you did was take a group of people that have respect for everybody, that even your way of life, you took a group of people and just said, fuck y'all. Y'all don't matter at all. We don't give a fuck about you. And you poked the bear. And guess what? You poked the right one because more than what any foreign country could ever fucking do to any American citizen, an American citizen can resolve this problem. Yes, they can kick Elon Musk the fuck out of the United States of America. They can kick Trump the fuck out of the United States of America. They can take power. That's what they can do. You see, and you're already showing people in red states. Trump is already showing them he don't give a fuck about them. At least the Dems allowed you to live the life you wanted to live. You see what I mean? At least the Dems allowed it. And these representatives showed they don't give a fuck about that. Okay, buddy. Okay. If that's how you want it, that's how you're going to get it. And when the rabbit have the gun, okay, all right.
How you feeling? Oh, it's good to be in Texas. It is good to be in Texas. Eat your heart out, Greg Abbott.
Yeah. Where's Greg Abbott at? Nowhere, boss. Ain't nobody home but us chickens.
Listening to that lineup, I get why you say don't mess with Texas. But also don't poke the bear. Thank you, everybody, for... I love you, too.
Click the like button, y'all. Do me a favor. Click the like button. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I came out here just to say those two words. Thank you. Thank you for being you.
Yo, and on that note, thank you to every podcaster that's been out here trying to crack this code, this internet code, this disinformation code, this siege of the American people's minds, this goddamn disinformation that actually had people thinking Trump gave a fuck about them. You know, that American first shit. Every podcaster that's out there, because legacy media ain't going to do it alone. Legacy media is not on the forefront of this fight. You know, they're kind of picking up the slack. You know what I mean? But they're not on the forefront. And I'm going to tell you right now, here's why. Because legacy media is not doing real stories. They're not telling you how much of your tax dollars actually come back to benefit you. I mean, that is the most essential thing that any person that pays taxes, any citizen would want to know. How much of the taxes I pay actually come back to me, to benefit me in some kind of way, to benefit my community in some kind of way. And legacy media is not doing the story, y'all. I'm telling you, they're not doing the story, because if you knew that 50% or maybe even less automatically goes back to anywhere close to something that services your town, your community, shit. If you knew that, you would be up in arms, but they don't do that story. And Trump wants to make it 40%. 35%. And that's what that big, beautiful bill is all about. Making that 50% that comes back to you that ain't shit anyway become 35%. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the country I live in, although I'm an American citizen, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. Born and raised in Washington, D.C. Family on both sides goes back to the colonial period of the U.S., right? So I don't give a fuck. You know, I speak my mind based on what I know. Okay. And, you know, the reality is that where I live as an American citizen, 75% of the taxes I pay come back to benefit my community, me, my family, my kids, my health, you know, my well-being, the air I breathe when I walk outside, clean water, safe streets. You see what I'm saying? You know, rehabilitation for people that need it. Also welfare for people that need it. And so they don't become criminals. So they don't end up robbing their neighbors. So the whole system doesn't work back. Yes, 75% in Denmark. Soon as you leave the U.S. already under Biden and previous administrations, it was 50% of your taxes went back to impact your life. Man, that's what Trump is trying to make it less. But as soon as you leave the U.S., it goes up to 60% and higher. American people need to know that when they pay taxes, and legacy media doesn't do the fucking stories like that. You know, I'm telling you, because if you knew, you would be fucking outraged.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up, not just for yourselves, for each other, for the state, our nation, and the world we're trying to build. Thank you. Thank you for not giving into cynicism. Thank you for not giving into the fear and the anxiety that fills so many people. Thank you for being the antidote to that. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for stepping in. And thank you for inspiring a nation, Texas. Thank you for inspiring the state of California. Thank you for Proposition 50.
Damn. Now, you know something? That is so deep, because Texas, they didn't even give the redistricting shit a chance. They didn't even ask the people of Texas what they wanted. They just did it in secrecy and in private. Gavin Newsom in California, not Gavin, but California, they did it in public. They gave everyone in Cali the opportunity to know what the stakes are and to vote on them. And that's exactly what people did. And now that they won that resolution, now they in Texas showing you what real democracy looks like, showing you that they got a governor that actually cares about democracy, while your governor Abbott, he ain't nowhere on deck. He's like, ain't nobody here but us chickens, boss. No, he doesn't care about you. He didn't give you a chance to even chime in. He was like, fuck your voice. Who the fuck are you? You ain't shit. Texas? Who the fuck are you? You Texans ain't shit. You don't fucking matter. And that's what he fucking told you. You don't fucking matter. You don't get to decide shit here, Texans. You think you a full-blooded citizen, you Texans? No, you're not. You're not full-blooded citizens like them Californians are. They get to decide, California people. You Texans, y'all just a notch under, a couple of notches underneath that amount of democracy.
Gene wasn't wrong. Gene wasn't wrong.
You ain't as important.
You guys made this happen. You guys have awakened up our immune system. We're dealing with an invasive species by the name of Donald Trump.
Damn.
He is an historic president, however. Historically unpopular president.
underwater, every key category. I mean, you can't even make this is hard to do. On every issue, on the economy, on tariffs, on immigration, on health care. Historically unpopular president. And he knows it. And he knows it. Why else? Why else did he make that call to your governor? Why else did he feel the need to rig the election before even one vote was cast? That's
Tango
just
Ford.
weakness.
Yo, Tango Ford, I hear you. I see you.
Weakness masquerading as strength. That's Donald Trump. And he had a very bad night on Tuesday.
A very bad night.
Bad night.
A very bad night.
And he did because all of you. You're showing up. We talk, that No Kings rally. You talk about patriotism. You talk about why the founding fathers lived and died. You talk about
How can you be a patriot when you don't even give a fuck about your own handicapped people? You don't give a fuck about your own elderly. You don't give a fuck about your own poor. What is patriotic about that? I don't know any other fucking country where that's called patriotic. Like, only in the United States of America do they mask fucking classism as patriotism. Only. What the fuck is that? I'm telling you, because I'm seeing other people living outside the U.S. I'm seeing other people believe they're patriots, and when they're being patriotic, when they're being what are nationalists, even the nationalists are like, we need to take care of our elderly. You better do it, goddammit. You know, even nationalists are talking about that. Even nationalists are talking about their kids going to school and all of this shit. Not in the U.S. Not in the U.S. These so-called nationalists, they got 3 passports.
why we're all here. The best of the Roman Republic, best of Greek democracy, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty.
Børnene i Ukraine er udmattede.
Oh shit, what is that? Okay. Yeah, that's a commercial here. Let's see here. I'll skip over that. Boom.
Rule of law, branch here.
Yeah, now let me just pause it right here. Does a nationalist care about people, citizens of their own nation who are poor? Does a nationalist care about citizens in their own nation that are poor? Does a nationalist care about elderly and elder care in their own nation? If a nationalist in the United States cares about the elderly of their own citizenry, put a 1 in the chat. If they do, if they don't, put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious, because from what I'm hearing, able-bodied men means you don't give a fuck about your own citizens, because it's plenty of deserving American citizens that these motherfuckers are saying, nah, fuck you, man. We gonna cut your snap. Even though you pay taxes your whole life, we gonna cut your snap. You're old now, in your time of need, we gonna cut your snap. Now that you pay taxes your whole life, we gonna cut your snap because you don't have a job. What the fuck? What the fuck? You know, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say it like this. You American citizens that voted for Trump, you are not fucking nationalists. You are fucking fake. You are not even fucking proud of your own citizens. You're not even fucking proud to be American, because a real American would never let another fucking American citizen be thrown out on the fucking street. You would fucking care, and you fucking don't. And don't you ever think you're going to fool anybody in any blue state about what fucking nationalism is, because we will kick your fucking ass if you don't wake the fuck up fast, yo. Straight up.
Best of the Roman Republic, best of Greek.
We know how to do this thing too. We know what the fuck this flag is, and then goddamn flag right here.
Democracy, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty, the rule of law, not the rule of Don. And it's dawning on people all across the United States of America what's at stake. And you put a stake in the ground. People are showing up. They don't believe in crowns, thrones, no kings. And people all across this country.
Fake nationalists don't take care of the elderly. Fake nationalists don't take care of the kids.
Are waking up because you had the courage months ago. Gene, his colleagues, had the courage to step up at a time when we were desperate for leadership. We were. I say it all the time, it's not what happens to us.
Argentina first. Argentina first. Isn't that right? You see, everybody, they chime on Ukraine and shit, not even knowing what the whole point is about Ukraine. Okay, I get you. Fair enough. What about Argentina? Argentina first. Got your 40 billion with nothing, no reasoning behind it. There was no war in Argentina. Nobody in Argentina is threatening you or threatening any of your allies. Why the fuck they get 40 billion of your tax dollars? What the fuck? Don't you think the poor citizens of the United States could use those tax dollars? Don't you think the poor fucking elderly could use those tax dollars in the United States? Don't you fucking think mothers, families and their children could use those fucking tax dollars? See, you maggots are hypocritical as fuck because you literally don't even care. You only care to be anti anything that a Democrat does. You don't have a fucking platform, a pot to piss in. You don't even generate enough money for the fucking federal government to function. You use federal dollars. You're on welfare. Your whole party is a welfare fucking party. That's what MAGA is.
It's how we respond to what happens to us. And you responded. You didn't roll over and you didn't give in. You stepped.
Yay, Argentina! Maggots for Argentina. They even got a MAGA party in Argentina. What the fuck?
And you traveled, as Gene said, all across the United States of America, and you woke us up. You didn't just have your back here. You had our back in the state of California. We were looking for a fight, not only...
Yo, click the like button, y'all. Help me get 100 likes finally for one day. Yo, please. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop interrupting, but let's hear some
that
more.
We can win, but a fight worth fighting for. And that is why I'm here.
I didn't hear one word about Argentina in his speech.
But none of us are naive, are we? When I kicked off this campaign, we kicked off the Prop 50 campaign. It was at the Democracy Center in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles. That's the sacred site where we were interning and busing the Japanese. At that site, to kick off the campaign at the Democracy Center, what did Donald Trump do? He sent out his masked men. He sent out his secret police, Greg Bovino, sent them to intimidate us. And don't take my word for it. You can hear the federal judge's own words. This is a guy.
Yeah, these trolls be boosting the algorithm. Yeah, exactly, bitch. That's what I'm saying, yo. I'm sorry about the hard work. Don't, if just do what you could do, but they do boost the algorithm. Thank you, trolls. Even trolls have a purpose, right?
Who believes that the oath of office he needs to take is to the dear
It ain't democracy, though. That's for damn sure.
leader, not the Constitution of the United States. Masked men showing up. Border Patrol in ICE. You may have seen this, on Election Day in Los Angeles. Days after, I'll say it, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. I know. By the way, forgive me. Oh, hold on.
Oh, hold on, let me hear that.
Days after, I'll say it, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. I know.
Ah, damn, okay.
By the way, forgive me. Oh, hold on.
Go Dodgers.
Hold on. Did you not listen to Al Green? I was the former mayor of San Francisco. That's harder for me than it is for you. Okay? Please. All right? I don't need to hear that. But just days later, what did he do? On Election Day, he sent 100 ICE and Border Patrol to assemble at Dodger Stadium, what they call the BORTAC units. These are the Border Tactical Units.
Yo.
This is what you're...
Now, that is anti Democracy, look, that's anti-business. That's anti-industry. American industry. How the fuck are you going to harass the people that fucking pay taxes? The people that provide jobs? Like, how are you going to go there and interfere with their fucking business? That is insane. And that is communism. You see what I mean? That's authoritarianism. That's just totally ridiculous. And you know something? Hey, if you're out there and you built up your business, you built up your industry, because you know that industry wasn't just built up by tax dollars. They might get tax dollars now. They might negotiate it when they want a new stadium and all of this shit. They even some places have to negotiate for jobs and things like that in their states now when they want this stuff. But in the beginning, that shit was private industry. That whole industry had to be built up by somebody. And these motherfuckers come and just actually show up and try to tell you what you can fucking do, even though it's your business that's paying their motherfucking salary. Like, you got some nerve. I've never seen welfare. ICE is nothing but a bunch of welfare recipients themselves. And I've never seen any fucking welfare recipients like ICE so motherfucking proud. Like, goddamn, you eating high off the government cheese and shit, you know, no real training. No real motherfucking expertise. And you're actually showing up to an industry, a place that has way more employees than you could ever think of your fucking self, and has fed more people than you can ever think of your fucking self, and you got the nerve to show up at their door. They should get smacked the fuck down.
You're seeing all across the United States what you're seeing almost nightly and daily in Chicago. Sent out to chill, to intimidate.
What they gonna do? Show up at the Dallas game next? I mean, is that what's gonna go on in Texas? They gonna show up at the Cowboys game next? Is that what they're gonna do? Like, yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
So people wouldn't show up at the polls.
Actually, you know what? I need to actually search that to find out if Abbott has ordered ICE or Trump has ordered ICE or the National Guard with games. Let me know, y'all. Have y'all heard of ICE showing up at any professional football games in Texas or any professional sports games in Texas? Let me know if you have. Sorry. Click the like button too, y'all.
Did we show up? There were lines around the block 2 hours after polling had stopped because people wanted to be heard.
Whoa. 2 hours. There was lines. Whoa, are you serious? Like, that many people couldn't even get in to vote? What the damn?
Not stop, show up. But you know what was amazing? Did we show up? There were lines around the block 2 hours after polling had stopped because people wanted to be heard, not just seen. They wanted to send a message, which, as Jasmine said, was sent all across the United States of America. And she's absolutely right. It wasn't just New Jersey. It wasn't just Virginia. It was in Bucks County with a now Democratic district attorney, first time since 1800s. It was in Georgia. It was in Mississippi. It was all across this country. And in Texas, as we heard from Representative Fletcher. He has
Texas,
waken
stand
up
up.
our immune system. Justice Brandeis, he said it best. He said it best. Justice Brandeis said, in a democracy, the most important office is not governor. It's not president. In a democracy, the most important office.
Guess what the most important office is? It's the people. It's the people. If you're not going out there making your voice heard, if you're not showing up at the polls, you're not fulfilling that most important office. And anybody that's trying to stop you from voting is an enemy of the motherfucking United States of America, straight up, because the entire principle is based upon you being able to vote.
Is office of citizen.
Yep.
Active,
Office
not
of
inert
citizen.
citizenship.
Thank
we
you.
the people. You're showing up. You're stepping up. You're stepping in. And people are hearing your voices. And so I just, again, want to express gratitude. You've distilled a sense of well-being. You've given us hope. We're going to get through this. You've given us confidence.
Yo, the people are giving the country. Yo, thank you. Anybody that's in the streets, anybody that's been going out demonstrating, anybody that's been organizing in their community in any capacity to get people out to vote, to get people to understand what's at stake, you know, community organizing, people that have been organizing against ICE, you know, trying to help people understand it, how to navigate that situation when the government sends a fucking military against its own people. People that have been out there trying to organize food lines, you know, just to make sure that whatever suffering is coming, because it is coming, more is coming. Yo, you people are the heart of the United States of America. Like, you are the heart and the pulse of the U.S. Like, you are giving every other American citizen hope right now when they have a federal government that is simply trying to break the country, trying to break your own your own spirit. Like, I've never seen an administration attempt to break the people's spirit. Like, I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about break the entire spirit of the country. I've never fucking seen that before. And if you cool with that, fuck you.
But as I said, we cannot rest until we take it back.
It's a lot of people that voted for Trump and they may not have expected this. You know what I'm saying? And that's fair enough, because I know a lot of people that voted for Trump, that capped for Trump. They had a lot of weird reasons I didn't understand and things like that. And now they're like, God damn, what the fuck did I do? I know a lot of people like that. And you see those people in the media, they coming out, they're talking about it. It's every day you see it. So that's fair enough. You know, when you make a mistake, that's one thing. But right now, no more mistakes. Like, wake the hell up now. Now you've had a chance to see without any doubt that this guy is a pure, utter lunatic that is only thinking about the thievery of the elite. Only thinks nothing about no red state grandmother, thinks nothing about no red state grandfather, thinks nothing about no red state child, thinks nothing even about any citizen of the country. You can't have people like that in the White House. You can't have it. And I'm telling you, the people that are standing around Trump, they don't give a fuck about no citizens. Red, blue, purple, you know, independent, whatever. They don't care about nobody. You got to see that.
There is no more important race in our lifetimes than the House of Representatives and taking back the House and getting Speaker Jeffries sworn in next November. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing.
Oh, Bits, thank you for the memberships, for the free membership gifts. I appreciate that so much, y'all. Thank Bits out there. That Bits for the membership. If any of you guys want to become members, do that, because I'm going to have a special message coming up to the members pretty soon. So
it is.
Thanks, Bits.
And so that starts today. It started on Tuesday. And I say this, the future is not just something to experience, it's not something to enjoy. The future is something to manifest. It's decisions, not conditions, that will determine our fate in future. The fact that you chose to be here is testament to that. We have agency. We can shape the future here in Texas. We can shape the future here all across the South and across the United States of America. You have that power.
Yep. And you know something? I love that message. That's such a beautiful message, because, see, Trump, he's used the federal government to have agency in everybody's backyard, fucking around in different people's communities, all of that, right? But don't forget, the citizens have agency. You can go wherever the hell you want. You can show up and do rallies any goddamn where. And a lot of these people in these red states, they actually want you to come and do rallies, because their actual congressional members ain't even fucking listening to them. They can't even fucking find them. Do you know how many of these congressional members have left their homes and decided to go live on a motherfucking military base? Like, straight up. That's what they doing these days. That's what red representation is these days. They don't even want to live in the communities that they're supposed to represent anymore. That is crazy. Like, serious. Like, Yo, we have agency. Every American citizen have agency, and we have freedom of speech to go right along with that. So, yo, do me a favor, y'all. Click the like button. Help me get to 100 right there, to 100 likes. But I really dig Gavin Newsom taking the initiative, and he's not alone. But I really appreciate that because we need, strength makes more strength. Power creates more power when you yield it correctly. You see? So, big up to Gavin.
You do.
Big up to Jasmine Crockett.
Not Donald Trump. Not Donald Trump. Yeah, no, hardly. No. It's about all of us. By the way, anyone checked out my Patriot store? You been seen anything on Twitter that we're sending out lately? I'm just saying, if you haven't, you may want to check it out. And word to the wise, we do have, well, and forgive me, but we do have some knee pads. It's a signature series.
Hey, guess what? I got some F Trump t-shirts also. Let me throw that in the chat real quick. But go ahead.
They're sold out.
Big up for Gavin. Yeah, he got some knee pads. They sold out on the knee pads, the Trump knee pads, y'all.
We do have, well, and forgive me, but we do have some knee pads. It's a signature series. They're sold out at the moment.
Get on your knees, goddammit.
The universities and all these law firms and members.
They stay on their knees.
Media organizations. I figured they can use these.
Damn.
Here's how you can get 30 plus qualified leads in a...
He said, I figured you could use these. Damn. Well, I mean, they can use them. They on their knees big time right now, man.
Let's keep our eyes.
They could use some knee pads, some back pads, all that shit.
Wide open.
A new spring mattress. What the fuck, yo?
To what's at stake and what's going on in the United States of America. These guys want to roll back all the hard-earned progress of last century. They want to put America in reverse. They want to bring us back to a pre-1960s, maybe 1860s world. And you're seeing it not just on voting rights. You're seeing it on civil rights. You're seeing it on women's rights. You're seeing it on LGBTQ rights. We're experiencing it in real time. They're censoring historic facts. They're rewriting history. They're on a banning binge, Bud Light and Big Bird. The United States of America in 2025. And so as we enter, I'll close, on 2026, the 250th anniversary of our founding fathers. Let's restore not just hope and optimism, but let's also stand up as we take back the House.
Hey, yo, look in the chat, yo. There's the link to the Fuck Trump t-shirts, y'all. And also there's some freedom t-shirts there too, yo. Real freedom, all right? Check it out.
Let's stand up. Let's stand up to those that have been humiliated, those that feel bullied, those that are afraid and scared. Let's stand up for those that have given up, and let's give them hope. Let's stand up for the rule of law. Let's stand up for a system of checks and balances, and let's stand up for our democracy for all of us. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, Harris County Dems. Thank you, guys.
Yo, I love that message. And here's the funny thing about it. Back to that little, you haters. Back to that Elon Musk gaslighting. Back to that Trump gaslighting. If you notice, they all do the same gaslighting. Even Grok, they're just haters. Gavin Newsom is just a hater, right? Americans, just because Dems are not using insulting language, don't confuse that with what power really is. They may not feed into your most innate animalistic desires to chew on some meat. You know what I'm saying? Your cannibalistic desires. Dems language may not do that. But don't confuse what they're saying. If you're bored by what they're saying, Yeah, it could be a little bureaucracy. Talking about democracy can be a little boring if there's a lot of talk and no action. I get that. But look, that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is some details and that are being spread that aren't spread every day. Like, they are giving the playbook out to the public, and not just to people who are Democrats, just to American citizens. So it behooves people to not go down that that thing, that easily dismissed path that a lot of people take, because you did that already. Look at what it got you. You did it. Now, hold on. Let me see. Is anybody else speaking on this joint? Okay. Now, that was it. Now, as things go, right? While Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett are down there taking it to Gavitt and whatever his name is, Abbott, Greg Abbott, or, Mr. Chicken Man, Scat Man Abbott, Scruthers, the tap dancing governor of Texas, the no-show, the guy who doesn't even want his state to even have disaster fucking relief. While they were down in Texas trying to help Texans, have a word, have some free speech, have a say in their democracy. This is what's going on across the country. Let's check this out here.
Does the Trump administration have a credibility problem in the court of law? Well, this morning, several cases around the country are pointing exactly to that. A federal judge in the
Supreme Court, and my personal thing is like this. Yo, fuck this Supreme Court, man. They totally biased. The Supreme Court is the reason why the country is in this peril right now. It doesn't matter what you say. There is no reason. Now, look, there was a lot of people that criticized Biden, right? They criticized him. Talk is cheap, man. You ain't do nothing. You kept saying all this shit and you ain't do nothing. Well, guess what? It's not Biden who didn't do anything. It's the fucking Supreme Court that shot down every fucking thing that the Biden administration tried to do for the people. That's what it is. And you got to get your motherfucking ducks right. Like, when you pull up a gun and you pull the trigger, what sense does it make to shoot the wrong motherfucker? You may as well put the gun up against your own head and blow your fucking brains out. Because getting it wrong is getting it wrong. And you're going to pay for it every single time. No, Biden was not the fucking problem. He was listening to everybody. The problem was the Supreme fucking Court in the United States doesn't want anyone to have any type of reparative fucking justice. It doesn't matter if you're talking about students that are carrying a ball and chain of debt around just because they want an education. That is insane. They shot that down. So, in other words, how can you be American first when you expect your students to be last in the Western world? What sense does that make? How many people in the Western world, students, do you think are carrying a ball and chain of debt around their whole life just because they said they wanted to fucking get an education? Do you fucking think that's normal? No, it's just you bitches in the United States of America. It's just you. Wake the fuck up. And that wasn't Biden. He tried to help you. It was fucking the Republicans in the Supreme Court that shot it down. There's so many instances where Biden reached out to Republicans, reached out to independents, got some shit done in Congress, had it signed, then took it to the Senate, had it signed, then he signed it in the executive office, and the shit gets shot down by 6 Republicans in the Supreme Court. You are looking at a fanatic, ideological Supreme Court, and one that has their hand out under the table at the same time. They're split. Those right-wing judges are kooky in the motherfucking head because they don't want women to control their own body. Shit like that. They're freaked out on Christian nationalism, not Christianity. Christian nationalism, which tends to be pretty hypocritical. Like, very hypocritical. We're talking about extreme. I'm not talking about normal Christians. I'm talking about extremists that don't even fucking look at the math before they pass a law, right? This kind of crazy shit. The type that kick themselves in the ass every fucking time. The type like Greg Abbott that eat welfare cheese but got the nerve to point the finger at somebody else that needs some fucking help. This type of bullshit is what I'm talking about. And those Supreme Court justices, no matter what you do to Trump, no matter what happens in this upcoming midterm elections, no matter what happens if Trump gets impeached, that's the real word that's going around. I mean, he might get impeached during this shutdown, y'all. Like, straight up. If this shutdown, if these Republicans do not negotiate, the next thing on the table might only be impeachment or nothing. Impeachment or no deal at all. And I'm going to tell you, even if you impeach Trump, even if you impeach Vance, you ain't going to get shit better if you don't impeach some of those Supreme Court justices, because they took bribes under the table and they also violated ethic laws. That's where that ideological bullshit comes in. That's why they keep making excuses for Trump. And that's why they're still sitting here trying to figure out if you deserve SNAP. Look, there's no guarantee. If it goes to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court might side against the people because they've done it before. You got to, so you dealing with a slow process, dealing with a lunatic, but the process is slow because the Supreme Court don't even back up the fucking courts around the country. It's like ridiculous. So just keep that in mind. But let's review.
Chicago says a top Border Patrol agent was lying Thursday when he said he was hit in the head with a rock before deploying tear gas on
and this bitch motherfucker just lied. I mean, he got, again, another government cheese eating rat. These are rats. They go out there and get paid off of the taxpayer, then walk into court proud as fuck and say, yeah, I lied. So what? I lied. I'm eating government cheese, and so what? I lied, but I'm still better than you. Get a job. It's like, that's literally what the fuck they doing.
Protesters. Judge Sarah Ellis called the government's portrayal of Chicago untrue, finding the evidence presented by that agent simply not credible. In another embarrassment for Trump's DOJ this week, a man who threw a Subway sandwich at an officer in Washington has been found.
Hey, Subway sandwich man. Yeah. Yeah, teach him a lesson, guy. That's my guy right there, Subway sandwich man. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it to your ass also. Soon as I get in DC, the first thing I'm gonna do when I get off the plane or come across the board is walk up to one of them agents and slap their ass with a goddamn Subway sandwich. And I'm gonna put an American flag on it too. I'm gonna knock his ass right in his fucking face, knock his glasses off, okay? And then I'm gonna run off, just to make a fucking scene, all right?
Not guilty of the only misdemeanor assault charge that he was charged with.
I'm gonna hit his ass with a hero sandwich, goddamn.
And prosecutor
paid for by me, by the way, not by any welfare check, by myself. By my hard labor.
Prosecutors were initially seeking a felony charge for that man, and they failed to secure an indictment. Lastly, a magistrate judge is slamming prosecutors in James Comey's trial for their handling of evidence, accusing Trump's handpicked attorney and prosecutor of taking an indict first and investigate second approach. There's a lot in the courts happening, and I will say,
all of it's bizarre, by the way, all of it. Next thing you know, what's going to be up in the courts is, do women have the right to vote or not? Let's sit down and have a little intellectual masturbation over this in the Supreme Court. Do women have the right to vote? Well, in the 14th Amendment and in the 18th century, it's like, motherfucker, what? These women pay your taxes, bitch. Wake the fuck up. Like, why are people settling for this bullshit? Like, in no way, shape, or form in any rational fucking universe do the people that pay the fucking bills have no motherfucking say. Like,
Trump is winning in some cases, but on the question of can the government's word be trusted, that's being called into question many times. And I'm actually flabbergasted by this, because let me play for you what Gregory Bovino, he's the Border Patrol agent that has been sent over to Chicago. This is the exchange where he is asked about the use of force, and particularly his use of force, and here's what he says.
Bovino, get off the rat cheese. Get off the government cheese, man. Get a fucking job, Bovino. Stop sitting there. Get a fucking job. Stop being lazy, man. Goddamn. What the fuck, man?
You said on October 30 that from what you have seen,
government rat eating government cheese, taxpayer money going right down the tubes. This is just a fancy welfare scheme, and the name is Bovino. Fancy welfare scheme, Bovino.
All of the uses of force
can't get a job anywhere else, so you got to live off the American taxpayer.
Yourself and the men under your command.
Yo, give me 2 more likes. Let's get to 100, y'all.
Have been more than exemplary, your words. You still stand by that?
Hell no. Look, he had to take a fucking pause. Hold on. He was like, let me take a deep swallow. Goddamn. What the fuck? That was a basic question, and he was like, gulp. What the fuck?
More than exemplary, your words. You said on October 30 that from what you have seen.
Hold on, let me make this shit bigger so y'all can see his face. You got to see the big gulp he just took. Like, damn, dude, can you not fucking like just pause so long when you answer a fucking question and lie? Come on, man. Let's get it going.
All of the uses of force by yourself and the men under your command have been more than exemplary, your words. You still stand by that?
Yes.
So when you tackled Scott Blackburn, as shown in the video marked for identification as Exhibit 8, that use of force on your part was more than exemplary?
Objective form lacks foundation.
As we talked earlier, that was not a reportable use of force.
Not a use of
placed
force.
him in under arrest. I didn't tackle him. I placed him under arrest.
This is what a lazy welfare recipient looks like. Fancy welfare recipient Bavino. Here, coming to the welfare government office, trying to justify his motherfucking welfare check so he can get an extension on it. No, bitch, you about to be fired.
Gotcha.
The judge looked at that and said, that's a lie. There's a video. You clearly tackled him. I think it is.
What the fuck? Let's hear this shit one more time. This is ridiculous. All right, I hope everybody can see this dude's goddamn face. Government, look, this is what a welfare outfit looks like. Right here, see green badge on top of it, welfare cheese eating outfit, okay? And he's in government line again. He showed up because the government called him and shit, want him to justify him getting another check. And here it is.
That from what you have seen, all of the uses of force by yourself and the men under your command have been more than exemplary, your words. You still stand by that?
Yes.
So when you tackled Scott Blackburn,
Wait for it.
as shown in the video marked for identification as Exhibit 8, that use of force on your part was more than exemplary?
Objective form lacks foundation.
As we talked earlier, that was not a reportable use of force.
Oh, not a reportable use of force, huh? Getting paid by government cheese, but you can't report it. That sounds like fraud. That sounds like the kind of fraud Trump is talking about. We got too many people getting SNAP that don't register, that don't qualify. You see, it looks like the rat is right here.
Not a use of
placed
force.
him in under arrest. I didn't tackle him. I placed him under arrest.
I didn't tackle him. I placed him under arrest. Would they allow that in the welfare office when you're answering questions that way? No. It wasn't that I didn't have a job. I just didn't show up to work.
Gotcha.
What the fuck? Anyway, let's see what CNN has to say about it.
The judge looked at that and said,
Abby,
that's a lie.
Abby, what was that, Abby?
The judge looked at that and said, that's a lie. There's a video. You clearly tackled him. I think it is really ballsy, frankly, to go to a court and then straight up lie like that.
Okay.
But this is what it is. Your experience, the American experience right now, is to truly live out something someone tells you you're not living. Seeing things someone tells you, no, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it at all. It's not there. What are you talking about? Liberals, Biden. It was Biden who did that. It was Kamala. Y'all, did you know that? Anything. Rabbit hole. Where's the rabbit hole? Nothing you see is happening. Nothing you see or witnessing is happening. All of it is a delusion. You are delusional. You got Trump derangement syndrome, y'all.
So
what is happening?
You know what I do with my day job, right? When I'm not playing a lawyer on TV.
Yes.
Of course, I couldn't agree with you more. That's what I do all day long. Is I cross-examine law enforcement officers and I try to say that they're either exaggerating or blowing things out of proportion, and that my client is not guilty. But So this is like nothing new. I mean, this is being, look, I bleed blue because I need them to protect us. But law enforcement officers lying in a court of law is not exactly something that's unique and new under Trump. It's been going on forever and ever.
Oh, you see
ever.
that? You see, he's about to quote the Biden administration. They did it under Biden, y'all. They did it under Kamala. They did it under Obama. Okay, it's nothing new lying on your tax dollars. You see? So the people that are affected by this, they have to pay for these motherfuckers to lie. That's what's happening in the United States of America. And that is what is being normalized in the United States of America. And I'm sorry, but I don't know about you, but I ain't got 1 cent, 1 second for any type of bullshit like that whatsoever, because I am not a motherfucking sucker. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have reduced citizenry to being suckerhood. Like, straight up. Chumphood, chump life. You gonna take it and you gonna like it. Man, fuck you. What are you talking about? When you hear a person like this talk, my advice is register to get a weapon in your home. Like, register. It's your right. Nothing wrong with that. You can register to have a weapon in your home. It's your American right. It's your, because these kind of people are about to sell you a delusion if they are allowed. See, this is the same thing the Nazis did before they showed up at your door. It's the same bullshit talking points. They sit there and tell you what you're seeing is not real. What you're seeing is, no, you did not see the people next to you be hauled off. No, you didn't see an American citizen be hauled off. No, you didn't see an agent in the court actual lie. And you didn't see a sycophant on CNN propaganda TV telling you that, oh, everybody does it. It's okay to lie. It's okay to lie to the American citizen when you lock their ass up and take away their rights. It's okay to lie. What comes after this is monstrous.
I think that's on video.
Well, now they're on video.
And he's just laughing about it. Well, Kamala, they did it in Kamala's administration.
To protect us, but law enforcement officers lying in a court of law is not exactly something that's unique and new under Trump. I mean, it's been going on forever and ever.
Shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, because when the lying was going on before and people were saying it's lying going on, these same motherfuckers were like, no, justice is perfect. Obey the law. And now they're the motherfuckers that are lying. You see what I mean? So they flipped it all around. So now all of a sudden everybody lies. Now all of a sudden all the police. So let me ask you a question. If that's the case, listen to what he said. It's nothing new. So is this an admission? Are we to take the fact that federal government agents are all liars? Okay, if that's what you got from his statement, that federal government police are all liars, put a 1 in the chat. If what you took away from this is that no, this is just one instance, one bad time that it happened, and generally they're all good, put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious, because how I read that is like saying, hey, they all liars and you should just accept it and that's what's normal. So let me know what you think. 1, if you think that shit is it a sign that they're all given the green light to lie? And 2, if you think it's bullshit and it needs to be stomped out. But this is his rationale. Thanks, Bits, for the memberships. Y'all take advantage of the memberships Bits is giving out, so we can do these private streams,
Look, I bleed blue because I need them to protect us. But law enforcement officers lying in a court of law is not exactly something that's unique and new under Trump. I mean, it's been going on forever and ever.
It ain't unique and new under Trump. Okay, no, it's not unique and new under Trump, but
about something that's on video.
Well, now,
but something that's on video, like they're just giving the green light to everybody in the federal government to lie.
I mean, this is the issue, right?
Look,
like we see
Derek Chauvin went to trial, right? The whole thing was on video, and that's his constitutional right to contradict what we saw on video. So, but I mean, look, Trump's Department of Justice going to trial, and
so they compared the sandwich guy
and someone being found not guilty. Luckily, under my law firm, of the last 5 presidents, Department of Justice have gone to trial and they've been found not guilty by lawyers in my office. So that's not so unique. But I will say there have been some arguments by the Trump administration in the Supreme Court of the United States and in other courts of appeals that have strained credulity. Is that the right word?
Yes, it is.
But the flip side of the coin is that often is what makes new law. I mean, that's often what makes people think.
Yeah, that's often what makes new law. But what about the people who suffer? You know, I mean, that's the thing about it. These are real human lives, you know, and that guy is a boss. So that means his decisions impact many people across the country. You know, everything that he says, if he's allowed to get away with that, that means they're all allowed to get away with that. And they're all expected to just move forward like that. And that's a damn shame because, again, guess who pays for it? Every taxpayer pays for that. You know, so yeah, I'm at a loss for this one, you know, and I don't see why legacy media. I mean, I understand it's legacy media and they're not on the forefront of journalism anymore. Right. But this is kind of shameful to actually see someone try to justify it or try to find a bright side to a federal agent wearing a badge, lying to a judge openly, like no question about it. Like, I'm here, I'm proud, I'm on government cheese. If the taxpayers didn't pay my rent, I wouldn't have a place to leave. And yes, I'm going to lie in your face, Your Honor.
It can also be just, it's just
you're lying.
Nobody believes this. Because also, again, when you're talking about things, when you're not just legal theories, but like actual events that have occurred and actual evidence. There was a case of an incident in which, you know, I don't want to say Border Patrol, but immigration officials arrested a woman who they drove into. Yep. And everybody watched the incident and said,
everybody saw that. They drove into the woman and they're claiming the woman drove into them.
That you drove into her and then they dragged her out of the car and arrested her. And then dropped the charges later. These are the things that are
Okay, is that okay? What they just described, is that okay? Let me play this back. Put a 1 in the chat if what she just described is something you think is okay in your country. Or put a 2 in the chat if you think it's bullshit. Let me see here.
Everybody watched the incident and said, you drove the case, actual events that have occurred. And actual evidence. There was a case of an incident in which, you know, I don't want to say Border Patrol, but immigration officials arrested a woman who they drove into. Yep. And everybody watched the incident and said, you drove into her, and then they dragged her out of the car and arrested her. And then dropped the charges later. These are the things that are happening.
And part of this.
So, I mean, if you accept it for one, then this man on the screen capping for Trump, he must accept it for his own mother, his own wife, his own daughter. You see, if you accept it for one, you got to accept it for all. If you accept it for one, you got to, that's how the law works. It works by precedent. So if this president is allowed to ride and not be punished, it becomes a norm in the American citizens' lives. Like, straight up. I don't see how I could ever be a part of that and go along with that. Like, that is just insane, you know, unless you want to live in an authoritarian USA.
Challenge is there are people who feel empowered and emboldened to just.
Hi, did you just move?
Yeah, in any case, so you get the gist with that. Right. You get the gist with that. And now another lying in your face. Here we go again. They're lying. Hey, how the prices doing? Is the economy good? Are you guys feeling it? Is it bad is what they say, or is this just propaganda and lies?
Affordability, the new buzzword following Democrats' victories in Tuesday's elections after candidates focused on that.
I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all lies, man. They literally keep coming out. Everything the Trump administration says or anyone that works for him is just a bold face lie, and they're attempting to normalize it. And if you allow them to normalize it, you become a slave.
Exit polls show 56% of New York voters said cost of living was top of mind. In Virginia, it was the economy, and in New Jersey, taxes, followed closely by the economy, were the most important issues, as all three states elected Democrats to top leadership positions. But the president dismissed Democrats' success in messaging as a con job.
We are the ones that
the con artist calls it a con job. He would know, right? He would know best. What the heck? Here we go.
They've done horribly on affordability. So I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less.
Energy costs are very low. Our general costs are very low. The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump.
Joining me now, Henrietta Trey is co-founder and director of economic policy at the consulting firm Veda Partners.
Let's hear these lies one more time.
In messaging as a con job.
We are the ones that have done great on affordability. They've done horribly on affordability. So I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less.
Energy costs are very low. Our general costs are very low. The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump.
Joining me now, Henrietta Trey is co-founder and director of economic policy at the consulting firm Veda Partners. You just heard, Henrietta, Trump denying affordability is a real issue. Do things actually cost less under Donald Trump?
They most certainly do not. I mean, his statements are just wildly out of touch. I just got back from the grocery store, and I can tell you, like every other mom in America, that prices are up right now 3% versus this time last year. That is a direct result of President Trump's tariffs and his economic policy. And the voters across New York, New Jersey, and Virginia all just confirmed that they don't like it.
And we've got a new University of Michigan consumer survey showing consumer sentiment has also dropped to a 3-year low. What's driving that?
Exactly. It's really the tariffs. It's because you can see every day when you go to the grocery store that coffee is 50% more expensive. Bananas are more expensive. Apples, soda even. Every single thing that you're buying all day, every day is more expensive.
Okay, so let me know. Are these prices right? Is this data correct? Like the data that you're seeing right here on the screen, is this data correct? Is it correct? Or is this just a liberal, phony, whatever Trump wants to call it. Is Trump correct? Is this just phony? Are you just imagining this, or is this real data?
And we also just had economic policy like every other last year. That is a direct result of President Trump's tariffs and his economic policy. And the voters across New York, New Jersey, and Virginia all just confirmed that they don't like it.
And we've got a new University of Michigan consumer survey showing consumer sentiment has also dropped to a 3-year low. What's driving that?
Exactly. It's really the tariffs. It's because you can see every day when you go to the grocery store that coffee is 50% more expensive. Bananas are more expensive. Apples, soda even. Every single thing that you're buying all day, every day is more expensive. And we also just had the largest layoff number in 22 years. So it's no wonder consumers are depressed.
Well, the consumer survey shows a so-called K-shaped economy where higher income households are doing well, lower income consumers are struggling. What has caused this divide?
Well, the wealthy have gotten a massive tax cut from the One Big Beautiful Bill, and they disproportionately spend on services, not on goods. So the tariffs impact them slightly.
Right there. And the facts are the facts. This is about the wealthy got their tax break while the middle class and the poor are paying for it. And on top of it, you're not even going to get any services anymore. And on top of it, you're not even going to get any federal agents that are obliged to be honest. I mean, they've all essentially been turned into arms of Donald Trump. Personally, if you don't support Trump, they basically look at it as they have the right to brutalize you and brutalize your communities, and no matter who you are. You see what I mean? And just based on your political affiliation, they believe they have that right, and they're acting like it, sadly enough. But this is MSNBC, so this is one of the times where they tell you bluntly. But I think I'm just really sad that it took legacy media this long to figure out that telling the truth is okay. Just telling people what it is okay, And I'm not saying that everyone would believe the truth if they heard it anyway, but you can't capitulate. You can't play this game where you try to justify shit that makes no sense anymore.
A-shaped economy where higher income households are doing well, lower income consumers are struggling. What has caused this divide?
Well, the wealthy have gotten a massive tax cut from the One Big Beautiful Bill, and they disproportionately spend on services, not on goods. So the tariffs impact them slightly less than the average bear. Everybody else, the bottom 50% of America, and even by some measures, the 80%.
The 80%. And look, the closer you get, look, the 80%, you know, because sometimes you get people that are like, you know, I got $1 million, so, you know, I'm okay. Trump did good for me. You know, I'm going to buy a house. When you lose your house, I'm going to come and buy it for double cheap. And then that's the American way. You get some of those people, but nah, you're going to feel it too. If you only got $1 million, let me tell you, $1 million ain't shit in the U.S. no more. I'm just telling you, $1 million doesn't put you in the safe zone. It might put you okay in emergencies and things like this and in times that are uncertain. But yo, that shit can be taken in numerous ways. Just a few different fucking accidents can take that money like that. And you could find yourself being just regular like everybody else very fast, you know. But that 80%, now you just go down. What if you're a 70 in the part of the 70%? Or what if you're part of the 60%? See, that's what I was saying. Even the upper class, even the ones that are millionaires, you should literally and rationally be concerned about all this shit Trump is doing. Because you know what he's doing? If you think you can play that little game as a millionaire and think, oh, you know, I can just buy, when you lose your house, I can just go buy it up. Motherfucker, you're dumb. Because if you think you can just buy up a couple of houses and you doing good, let me tell you, you just capitulated, because they going to buy up the whole fucking country and your rights. Every fucking thing. They're going to buy up the military. They're going to buy up every institution. They're going to buy up the public lands. You will be nobody. And when you're left at the bottom with everybody else, you 80%, the people that's hungry and told you no are going to eat you like fucking hyenas. You better fucking wake up fast. Like, seriously, you are not welcome in the bunker. Trump doesn't want no broke ass millionaires in the fucking bunker. You better get it in your head. You're not fucking welcome. Your broke ass is not going to the moon. You're not escaping this. And if anything else should happen to happen, like a foreign government attack the United States while this bozo is in office, you will not fucking escape. You will not escape it. Just having $1 million ain't going to escape. Having 10 million, yo, I'm just telling you, if you think the multitude of the people are just going to sit down, and be silent when shit goes ham, shit, you out of your motherfucking mind. And let me tell you another thing. You people that think you want a civil war in the U.S., shit. You think you want a civil war? Let me tell you, every enemy of the United States would love a civil war to break out in the United States. But guess what? Do you know what's going to happen then? Do you know how many other countries are going to flood the United States regular population with weapons? Do you know why? Because they're not going to want to just see anything fucking build itself up there again. They want their countries protected too. You see what I'm saying? So the shit is not going to be as simple as you think. You better think about it. Like, you really better think about it. You know, the easiest thing to do is stand up for the Constitution. That's the easiest fucking thing to do.
Of Americans that are not in the ultra wealthy are paying.
You think you're going to stop Canada from sending something in the country? You think you're going to stop Canada from sending something? You ain't got a motherfucking chance on earth. You think you're going to stop anybody else from doing anything? You ain't got a motherfucking chance on earth. You can't even stop motherfucking drugs. You pathetic pieces of shit. Like, you can't even stop motherfucking drugs. You're so stupid. You're going out there shooting up little boats and here and there. Man, you ain't going to stop a goddamn thing.
More for every single thing that they see. And so their costs are rising, and they're also the ones getting fired. So the K-shaped economy benefits the very wealthy who have exposure to the stock market, and everybody else gets left behind.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody else gets left behind. I never thought I would even be seeing some shit like this for my country, you know, but it is what it is.
Friday, Senate Democrats.
Yo, thanks everybody for coming out. Let me see here. Click the like button if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Grab up some of those memberships that Bits is giving out, because I want to kind of boost up some of my membership streams, because you can't say everything openly. Look at these people. They hate freedom of speech, and they're out there attacking YouTubers. I mean, goddamn, what could be more pathetic than attacking YouTubers? You're really weak when you scared of motherfucking YouTubers. And that's what's going on right now. They're literally out there looking for left-winger YouTubers and shit, and it's like, while they're on government cheese, these people are on government cheese. Trump is getting paid. Their job is to take your motherfucking tax money and say, fuck you. That is insane.
Drastically scaled back their demands for ending the stalemate, saying they'll agree to a one-year extension of expiring health care subsidies and open bipartisan negotiations before next year's open enrollment.
Now, this is where we left off yesterday with Schumer. This is very interesting, y'all. Let me hear this. Let me just hear this one more time. And Trump ain't going for it, but here, check this out.
In U.S. history. Friday, Senate Democrats drastically scaled back their demands for ending the stalemate, saying they'll agree to a one-year extension of expiring health care subsidies and open bipartisan negotiations before next year's open enrollment. Senate Majority Leader John Thune rejected that offer, saying Republicans won't negotiate on the subsidies until the government reopens.
You see? Now, check this out. So that means they don't actually want federal workers paid. They don't actually want the military paid to bypass all of this pain. They don't actually want all of that shit, because the truth is that Trump is after something else that he's not saying in the shutdown, and what it is he's after total and complete ownership of the United States of America. That's what it's always been about for Trump. It's not what he's saying it is. It's something else, because the Democrats just gave them an offer to just let them know straight up, if you want things to continue to be paid, hey, you want the military to be paid? We agree. You want this to be paid? We agree. But the truth is there's something else behind Trump and why they actually want the shutdown to continue. They don't want to agree to no Democrat terms. That's the whole point. They got everything they wanted in the big, beautiful, ugly bill, which will sink the United States of America and put people in bondage forever. The average American, that 60, 70%, 80% maybe, they won't have any say in the country anymore. These people want to end the Constitution. That's what they literally want. Now, it's just a matter of how you say it. But check this.
Here's what Democrats had to say about this today.
Let's narrow it down to the one crisis at hand and just put it 1 year into the future. Republicans say they want to develop a whole new health care plan. Well, that gives them a year to present their proposal. They had 4 years under Trump. They had
another 4 years in the last Trump administration. He still ain't come up with one.
4 years under the Project 2025. They've had almost a year now. We haven't seen a plan, but
they've had 11. They've had damn near 10 years.
But put this in place while people are hurting. Figure out your plan and present it. Meanwhile, let's get this government back open. It was incredibly reasonable.
Ain't gonna happen. Trump don't even want it.
Joining me now is Texas Congresswoman Julie Johnson. She's on the Foreign Affairs, Homeland Security, and House Administration committees. Welcome back to the broadcast, Congresswoman. So, would House Democrats support an agreement that doesn't permanently extend the subsidies and repeal Medicaid cuts? Do you see any breakthroughs in the shutdown battle happening anytime soon?
Well, obviously the proposal that Schumer made isn't what the full thing that we all want, but it's a compromise position. So, yes, I think, and to put the best interest of the people forward, I think House Democrats would support that if it passed the Senate. We very much want to get the government back open. We very much want SNAP to get restored. We very much want.
But Trump won't get what he wants. Not in their proposal. Their proposal doesn't give Trump what he wants. That's the whole point. And the truth is that Trump didn't just want the military. He's not thinking about all those things that he's talking about are just excuses for something else. The truth is that he doesn't want it. That's not what he wants. Trump is going to, no matter what happens, he's already planning on firing more, cutting more social benefits that you pay in your taxes. It's nothing in there about lowering taxes for you. Nobody in this chat has got an offer on their taxes being lower. Nobody. Ain't none of you millionaires in this chat. And if you are, there's only one. You see what I mean? Everybody else is just a regular Joe, and there's nothing for you in that package. So the reality of it is that if the Democrats did go along with this, Trump is going to go past that. He doesn't give a fuck about that. He's going to go fire people anyway because there's no guarantees regarding his administration's behavior in the package. That's the whole point, to give total unilateral power to a president. That's the whole fucking point. So they played Trump. They said, oh, okay, you want to help the people? You saying you want to play the people? If that's what it is, you want to support the military? You want to do this? Okay, well, let's do this then. Let's go back. This is what they said they'll do. And Trump was like, hell no, I ain't doing a goddamn thing. That's not what I want.
Next year's OPEC back their demands for ending the stalemate, saying they'll agree to a one-year extension of expiring health care subsidies and open bipartisan negotiations before next year's open enrollment. Senate Majority Leader John Thune rejected that offer, saying Republicans won't negotiate on the subsidies until the government reopens.
That's exactly what I said they were going to do. They're going to reject them because the truth is what Trump is talking about, what he wants has nothing to do with any of this. It's a smokescreen for something else.
Here's what Democrats had to say about this today.
All right, so we heard that. Now let's get to the next part here. Let's see here. Let's get to the next part.
Position. So yes, made isn't what the full thing.
Time soon.
Well, obviously the proposal that Schumer made isn't what the full thing that we all want, but it's a compromise position. So yes, I think, and to put the best interest of the.
So you see, that's even a compromise for what the average Democrat even wanted. And Trump still didn't take it. You see, like this is stripped down and he still doesn't want it. Now, everybody knows that these shutdowns happen periodically. Funding the government is a process. When you pass a law, funding it is the second process. It's not all in one package. You could write a bill. It doesn't mean the bill's going to get funding. It's never meant that in the United States. It's never meant that under Biden. It's never meant that under Trump when he was in power before. It's never meant that under Obama. It's never meant that under Clinton, Reagan, Bush, none of them. It's never meant that. That's the whole point. Checks and balances. And what this guy wants to do is get rid of every single check and balance that there is in the government. He's even talking about getting rid of the filibuster, which even as much as a Democrat might want to get some revenge back, you have to understand that is very anti-democratic when it comes to checks and balances for anybody. Nobody should want to get rid of the filibuster. Nobody should want that. No, because listen, the next time around when Republicans aren't in power, do you realize there won't be any checks and balances against any Democrat if you actually do it? So that's another sign to how desperate Trump is, how there's something else going on that Trump is very, very afraid of. That's how you know, because he's even willing to throw this filibuster shit up on the table and even try to order goddamn Republicans to do that shit. Yo, there's something else going on, y'all. I'm telling you, folks should just go to impeach Trump because there's something very, very bad happening that he's pushing for. And apparently he's running out of time. Like, we might think 2026 is the time scale he's going on. No. This motherfucker may not even live another month. There's something else going on that he's pushing for that he just can't wait. He can't wait. Like, it's like a crackhead. Like, there's something else happening.
Forward, I think House Democrats would support that if it passed the Senate. We very much want to get the government back open. We very much want SNAP to get restored. We very much want our federal workforce to get paid and air traffic to resume normally. But we also very much want people to retain health care in this country.
All they said is retain the health care and the SNAP benefits and everybody can get paid. The rest of your bill moves on just as it is. That is insane. And he said no. He said no. That is insane.
And it's something that
And he's pushing to remove the filibuster. So that shows you the man is desperate. But listen, y'all, it's 500 people watching. Yo, do me a favor. do me a favor, click the like button if you can. We got to get up to 200 likes if we can. I appreciate it, y'all.
I've heard.
Subscribe also if you haven't subscribed to my channel. I'm born and bred American, born and raised in Washington D.C. However, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. Both sides of my family go back to the colonial period, so that's why I'm chiming in this time around with this political shit, because I'm watching my countrymen get ripped apart while I have benefits my own countrymen don't even have. Like, come on. What is this? You know, how is the U.S. better if you don't even get shit out of your... It's like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Let me tell you, Americans, something. You are not better. You are worse off than every other Western citizen, period. You are worse off. You better come to wake up and realize that. And what Trump wants to make it now is even worse.
Clearly and unequivocally for my constituents, for the love of God, don't let them take my health care away.
Late last night, the Supreme Court, as you know, temporarily paused a ruling forcing the Trump administration to pay full SNAP benefits.
I mean, it's almost going to be cool to take away old ladies' canes and shit. Give me your cane, goddammit. It's almost going to be cool to do that in the U.S. because this is what they're talking about.
That's giving a lower court some time to consider a more lasting pause. While this legal back and forth plays...
Here we go. Legal back and forth. American people got to go through the pain while the legal back and forth has a, Supreme Court, you all are pieces of shit. You are pieces of shit. Like some more government rat cheese eating. You are on government supplement. You're on fucking welfare. The Supreme Court is a government supplement. They are welfare recipients them fucking selves. Lifetime appointment to sit their fat asses or skinny asses in those motherfucking chairs and take payments under the fucking table, get gifts under the fucking table, turn your flag upside down, have your wife conspire to overthrow the motherfucking government, invade the Capitol. This is the kind of fucking Supreme Court. What's supreme about that? That ain't nothing but treasonous and fucking bribery. Just straight up. That has nothing to do with anything supreme or anything justice.
Out millions risk going hungry. And this week, you and your team volunteered at a North Texas food pantry where you were stunned it ran out of essentials for the first time in 8 years. What are you hearing from your constituents? I mean, these people who depend on nutrition assistance just to feed their families. And what can you do, you and your office, to make sure people don't go hungry?
I know. Well, this is definitely a time in our country where we have to be compassionate towards our neighbors and check in on folks.
Thank you.
I think we've lost.
Y'all, that right there is a very serious message. Understand this. What's going to get people through this moment, things are really bad and things could get even worse. But what's going to get people through this moment is actual love and kindness for your neighbors. Like straight up, like be bold and be proud to be kind and caring about your neighbors. That's what's going to see. The people that know how to do that best are the people that's going to have the smoothest transition. You know what I mean? What Trump wants is to make things so hard that chaos erupts and then he can get total, utter power and then dissolve the Constitution. That's what he is looking for. Trust me when I say that.
Some aspect of that of our
I mean, you don't have to trust me, but that's my analysis.
Humanity in this country has gotten so divisive that we need to really kind of reset and get back to the thing of, you're my neighbor. You shouldn't starve living right next to me. So my team and I wanted to get a firsthand look on the ground. We went to a local food pantry and I wanted to see for myself, what's going on out there? What's the need? And I was really surprised. They're having almost a double of the amount of families, a lot of first time people who've never reached out to a food pantry before. And they've been running this food pantry for 18 years and have never, ever run out of meat and have never.
Yo, somebody said, are you brainwashed? You must have been to college. Actually, no, I'm just telling you what the facts are. Like, I don't know if you think crazy is getting 5 weeks vacation every year, because I do. I don't know if you think having a union job is crazy, because I have one. I don't know if you think your kids being paid to go to school, higher education, university, technical school is crazy, because my kids, that's what they do. I don't know if you think it's crazy to have universal health care, but that's what my taxes go to. Where do your taxes go to? Do you even know?
ever run out of breakfast cereal. You know, I was so taken aback by it. I wrote a personal check and said, go buy some meat. You know, it was terrible. It really moved me, and the compassion that these folks are having for our community and people who are really struggling.
Yeah. So Democrats won big on
Pizza guy, what's up?
Election Day, but despite their ideological differences, the winning candidates in 3 key races in New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City all shared a relentless focus on affordability. Meanwhile, you have the president dismissing Americans' cost of living concerns, saying, yeah, he's doing great on the economy, though polls say otherwise, and the facts. What are your takeaways?
Let's impeach Trump, you know, because this is just, it shouldn't even matter if you like his policy or not. The man is flying to your motherfucking face. I mean, do you support a president that just openly lies about the facts? Like, come on. Even if you are okay with paying more money for everything, even if you were okay with that, are you okay with the guy that you support just lying openly about it? Like, get some motherfucking balls. Stand on your project. Stand on what you say it's about. But they don't even stand on it. Trump doesn't even stand on it. And that is very sickening. Like, you know, that's basically gaslighting people, and gaslighting is akin to abuse. You see what I mean? Yeah, so slavery, what you do to slaves when you want to abuse them, you keep telling them, oh, master gonna come and say, oh, Jesus is coming. Oh, yeah, don't worry, be good to your master. Oh, don't worry, I love you. Now, whoosh, get your ass out there in that field. That's what Trump is doing. That's what Trump is doing. And I can only feel sorry for the people that just keep believing him at this point, because your brain has to be really, really fucked up. Like,
from Democrats.
I mean, that's not a good thing. These people need help. Straight up, they need help. You know, they need help, and they don't need hatred, but they need help. They need a place to go and detox off of this internet rabbit hole, disinformation shit that they've been on, because these are the facts right here. And the president is lying to you. Like, he's not even trying to address the facts.
It's a big night.
Well, you know, I think Democrats learned a lot from the 2024 election, in that we did not have a laser focus on affordability and the economy and issues that affect all Americans. And I think we got narrowed in on that. And I think it also is emblematic of the wonderful things that makes us have to agree on the same path, but we do have the same values that, you know, working folks in this country deserve to have an economy that they can afford. They deserve a living wage. And at the end of the day, when you're following all the rules and you're doing everything right, you should have a couple nickels left in your bank account than what it costs you to live. And
exactly. And listen, the data on that is that American citizens, even before this big, beautiful, ugly bill, even before these tariffs have fucked with your economy, before that, 50% of the taxes American citizens paid, right? Only 50% come back to benefit them directly or their communities they live in. Only 50%. You see what I mean? Soon as you leave the United States of America, that goes up to 60%, 70%, 75% in every other NATO nation. So every other NATO nation, the taxes that the people pay, much more of the taxes that they pay out of their own salaries goes to improve their actual lives. In the U.S., at best, before Trump, it was only 50%. Now it's about to be 30%. And you're going to pay the same tax. What the hell is going on? Like, Americans really need to know that. Like, really need to know that straight up. But let me go on here. Let's see what else we got here.
Well, Congressman, good to see you, especially on a Saturday here. So,
yo, click the like button, y'all. Please click the like button for me.
Thanks, Tom. Senate Democrats unveiled their compromise deal to end this shutdown, extending the ACA subsidies just for 1 year, and saying they will vote on a clean CR. You heard me talking to Kevin, and you know the Republicans very quickly shot that down, repeating Obamacare tax credits are a non-starter. But with the Senate in session right now, could we see a weekend miracle?
That'd be great. That'd be great for the federal workers who are showing up and not getting paid. It'd be great for the millions of Americans who are looking at these eye-popping insurance rates they're going to be paying next year that are 300 to 400% more. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you, it'd be great for the TSA agents who you typically don't notice when you go through.
Who also need SNAP, who also need, they need prices to go down, who also need health care. You know what I'm saying? Every guy, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Metal detector.
But their family members need it. I mean, how are you going to be a person who works, gets benefits, and you don't want them for nobody else in your own community? You got health care. You don't want health care for nobody else in your community? Like, what kind of bullshit is that?
You just don't want your belt or your bag to set off, an alarm. They're usually viewed as an inconvenience, although they do a really important job. And now I and many others I've noticed in line are just whispering to them, thank you, because I don't know anyone, Alex, who would work without pay for 42 days. But to these folks, there's something more important than money. It's our safety. But for Republicans, what I'm seeing is that the most important thing to them is to protect the president from these Epstein files, which is...
the pizza guy said, I voted for Trump in 2016. I regret that decision. And I know many people who voted Republican who will vote Democrat in the future. And that's what I was saying, pizza guy, like, look, this is democracy, and this is about votes, and people are entitled to vote, and people are entitled to vote again. You vote all the time. People vote numerous times in the state elections, local elections in their towns, and federal elections across the country, right? Now, so you're entitled to vote. You're entitled to change your mind, and it's not really, people shouldn't hawk on folks that voted for Trump before. But this is deeper. What's going on right now is deeper than if you voted for Trump before. I don't give a fuck if you voted for, I'm not talking about you, piece of guy, but I'm not blaming anybody that voted for Trump before. I'm saying if you still support this shit now, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is way beyond something you can survive. Like, straight up, you cannot vote. You cannot be okay with your own suicide. You cannot be. You can't be okay with the dissolvement of the Constitution. You cannot be. You just can't be. You can't be okay for all of these people getting government cheese and none of the fucking taxes you pay go back to your own fucking community. Like, are you really trying to kill yourself? I mean, you can do that, but I'm not fucking with you. Yo.
Largely driving the House from coming back.
That's all I'm saying.
It's quite concerning. But if you see a TSA agent at the airport today, please just say thank you.
Yeah.
These folks are working without pay, and they're doing a critically important job.
Yeah, I made my way through LAX about a week ago, and let me tell you, I was thanking him just like you.
Yeah, I ain't on no suicide cult shit. You know what I'm saying? I like my benefits the way they are, and I like the fact that my taxes go to other people too to help balance out things for everybody. Why? Because I don't want nobody robbing my ass at night. I don't want anybody, being having problems and not being able to find help. But that only puts more of a burden on me too and everybody else. Come on, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So let's talk about this ruling that we got with the Supreme Court last night, which is allowing the Trump administration to temporarily prevent full SNAP benefits from being paid out for November.
You see that? So this is the thing I'm just really pissed off at. This is what I've been saying. This Supreme Court ain't shit. They ain't shit. They took payoffs. You may not understand it, but they're ideologues that have been getting gifts from the Koch brothers and other billionaires for a very long time. And they have a habit of siding against the people, the people's own fucking tax dollars. This Supreme Court, they have this habit. Supreme Court allows Trump administration to temporarily block SNAP benefits. Whose motherfucking money is this? This ain't Trump's money. This ain't the Supreme Court's money. Supreme Court, you are on welfare yourself, bitch. Get the fuck off SNAP, Supreme Court. You're just on fancy high-sedity SNAP. It's still government cheese, motherfucker. Like, what are they talking about? This is insane. This is insane. This is fucking insane. They could have ended it. But see, this lets you know they're in bed. Somehow they're implicated in this shit. They are implicated, whether it's the Epstein files, and it could be, I'm telling you, they could be covering up for Epstein file people. Like, I'm telling you, there's something up with this. There's no reason why they would keep extending a hand to Trump. Just keep on extending a hand for Trump. At some point, you have to just realize, no, you may not know how, but they have to be, because nobody keeps siding with someone, a 34-time convicted felon, a man who is out there who's been the best friend of the U.S.'s most prolific sex trafficker, molester, minor slave trafficker of little girls. There's no way in hell they can keep siding with this motherfucker, to the point to where they're siding against the American people regarding their own tax dollars while they are being paid by this American people's tax dollars. What if we vote to say, you know what? Stop paying the fucking Supreme Court. How about we do that? How about we cut their fucking benefits? How about we cut their medical care? How about we cut their motherfucking, just cut it all? Because this is what the fuck? This is insane. And they think that they can just do this when you already paid the taxes and you already voted and it was already signed into law. And they're just going to do, man, I'm telling you, you cannot have a United States of America with this Supreme Court judge. They are compromised. They are sold out. They have taken money under the table. They are selling out the Constitution. It's just simple. It's just simple. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry because this is not what patriotism looks like. This is not what nationalism looks like. This is what sellouts look like.
While another court makes a determination soon about it, what do you tell your constituents, sir, who see a government shutdown from a deadlocked Congress, a Supreme Court preventing families from getting the immediate relief they need to buy food, and with the executive having ever-increasing power, making demands of Republicans who are in control of everything?
The president has the power and the money to feed hungry Americans. But let's be honest here, Alex. It's easy for people with food to debate about helping people without food. But those...
And it's easy for people that get paid by the taxpayer to debate helping other people get... What the fuck? It is insane. It's insane. Like, they literally are getting your money and they're complaining about poor people getting it. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, I'm sorry. That is not patriotism. That is not even nationalism. That is something else that is twisted. That's fascism. That's authoritarianism. That's even worse. This is just fascism. I would say that's authoritarian. Like, these people are elitists. They hate poor people, and it's beyond race and color and gender. They hate poor people. They hate middle class. That's what they do. And they're literally getting your middle class and poor people dollars, and they fucking hate you. That can never, ever make sense. It can never make sense that the people that pay their bills are being told they cannot get what was already signed into law by the democratic process, what has already been paid for by the poor. You know the working poor, right? You do know poor people work.
People are going hungry.
Who are in control of everything.
The president has the power and the money to feed hungry Americans. But let's be honest here, Alex. It's easy for people with food to debate about helping people without food. But those people are going hungry now.
Somebody in the chat says, sounds like I pay your bills. No, bro, I got a union job. Okay, stop the cap. Okay, what job do you have? What the hell? I have a union job, you sucker. Okay, the point is that just because you have a job doesn't mean you have to be stupid, you dumbass. Okay, first of all, why would you be for only 50% if you have a job in the first place? Why would you be for 50% of your taxes not going to anything that has anything to do with your dumb motherfucking ass in the first place? It's you who's a motherfucking fool. And yet you want less of your tax dollars to go to yourself and your neighborhood? You are the goddamn fool. What the fuck? See, you ain't paying anybody. You're not even paying your own motherfucking bills at this point. You're paying Elon Musk's fucking bills. You're paying judges for nothing. You're paying what the fuck, Trump's fat ass to sit around and do nothing? Are you how the fuck are you talking about you paying somebody's bill? What normal person wants a naturalized American, Elon Musk, a person with 3 citizenships, raiding their motherfucking treasury? Who pays your bills, bitch? Who pays your bills, bitch? Okay, you better get it straight. There's a difference between knowing what the fuck is going on and not having a goddamn job or having one. Just because you have a job doesn't make you bright, you dumbass. Okay?
Every day, every night. And they're not waking up to breakfast, but what they're waking up to is
just like having a job doesn't mean you ain't a fucking pedophile.
Government that is shut down largely because Republicans don't care if your insurance premiums go up 300%, but are really concerned about protecting Donald Trump from the Epstein files. They've chosen the files. I'm choosing the friggin' food. And that's what most Americans are choosing. And so Republicans should get back to work on the House side. And if they don't want to work, we should put Mike Johnson.
Yo, these Americans, y'all paying taxes. Peter Thiel got 3 citizenships. Elon Musk got 3 citizenships. And you give more to them than you give to your own fucking own family and your own goddamn community. How the fuck can that make sense?
Johnson's job on LinkedIn. You know, he's not showing up. People probably don't remember what he looks like. We've not been in session for 50 days, Alex. That's longer than a summer August recess. And so it's time for us to get back to work and end this shutdown.
Yeah.
They ain't going to do it. You know, Trump, the truth is that there's something else that Trump ain't telling people that he's scared of. And the Democrats gave them an offer. The Democrats said, you know what? Hey, let's pay the military. Let's pay the TSA agents. Let's do that. Let's just extend the health care benefits and the SNAP for 1 year. That's all they asked for. And this motherfucker is like, nope. That means it's not about people getting paid. That's not what Trump is doing this for. It's about something else.
Inflation is way down. The biggest thing is inflation.
Here's your president. Your president is here telling you what things are like in the United States of America, and you tell me if it's real or not.
Is way down. The biggest thing is inflation.
Campaign.
Inflation is way down.
Is inflation way down?
The biggest thing is inflation.
Is inflation way down?
The second biggest thing is energy.
Okay, energy. Man, first of all, Trump is a weak bastard on energy. Who the fuck is pro energy and you don't even want to have multiple forms of energy? You know, what the hell? Don't you understand that diversifying energy is what keeps the fucking prices down? When it's not diversified, the prices go up. And that's exactly what fucking happened under this dude's regime. He canceled fucking infrastructure. You know, it's like, what the fuck? He's trying to keep everything exorbitant. And the United States doesn't need, how does the most powerful country on earth need to be functioning on motherfucking oil and gas? What the fuck? You mean this government, this machine, this military, the biggest military on earth, the biggest functioning, well, second to China, but the biggest in terms of people, smaller, but in terms of machinery, biggest. It's the biggest socialist project on earth, the U.S. military. And you want it to run on gas? Like, do you know how fucking old that technology is? Just fucking gas. Are you dumb? Like, you may as well say, y'all, fuck it. Let's go back to the Stone Ages and start, you know. When I want a wife, let me just knock her ass upside of the head and drag her back to my cave. You may as well say that. Fuck it, you know.
Energy is way down, and what's also down? Gasoline. Also, the biggest thing is...
And literally, that is probably some shit Trump would do. Trump probably would be like, I need a wife. Boom. Drag her back to Mar-a-Lago. You know, like, give her ass some drugs. Let's rape her. That's probably what Trump would do. I'm telling you, man.
Inflation, and it's way down. The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump than it was under Sleepy Joe Biden.
I mean, what a pathetic man. Sleepy Joe Biden. It's like, will you get off the man's nuts for once and just do your job? God damn, you can't do your job without Sleepy Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. This shows you, like, the guy is very, very fucking insecure. Like, he's very, very insecure. So insecure, he has to name call a guy who's not even fucking thinking about him. Joe Biden is gone. Joe Biden's proud of his service. Joe Biden, he's off living his life. He's not thinking about your bitch ass. He knows people hate you. You know what I'm saying? It's like this guy literally hates Joe Biden that much, and his brain is not even on his own job. He's like, damn, Joe Biden's going to be like better than me. This is how this motherfucker's brain works.
And the prices are way down.
They better see me. It's way better than Sleepy Joe Biden. It's way better. What an analysis.
Pretty angry there. Here's the issue. Inflation is actually real, Many prices are not actually falling. They are actually rising.
I think so.
And the American people, you, every day when you go to the grocery store, when you buy gas, you see it, you feel it every single day. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in September, the annual inflation rate rose to 3%. Driving that increase, gas prices, which rose more than 4% from August. Groceries are up under President Trump. Consumer Price Index data shows that average grocery prices were 2.7% higher in September of this year than they were in September of 2024. Polls show not just that the American people are noticing higher prices, but also that they are blaming President Trump for it. 71% of Americans say that they're spending more money on groceries now than they did last year. That's according to a Washington Post poll that was conducted late last month.
Hey, y'all, click the like button for me. Let's get up to 200. Thanks.
And 59% of Americans blame President Trump either a great amount or a good amount for the current rate of inflation.
Numbers don't matter, says the MAGA folk. Numbers don't matter. Hey, it's okay to be Republican. You don't have to be MAGA anymore, though. Goddamn, that's just fake. That's just fake. That's not a nationalist movement. That is a sellout America movement. Like, give it to the highest bidder. Who do we give it to? Qatar first? Who do I bend over for? Is it Qatar? Is it Putin? Who? Is it Kim Jong-un? Excuse me. I'm sorry about that, anybody that's Korean, but Kim Jong-un? Yeah, exactly. Is it she? Who do we bend over first? I mean, that is what Trump is. That is what Trump. I'm surprised the MRI wasn't on his ass, because this dude is weak. He's weak.
Now, President Trump can often convince his
Did you know he fell down the stairs? Let me find that.
supporters
Or fell up the stairs. Let's find
to
that.
see things his way. Through relentless repetition, he has convinced millions of Americans to believe, for instance, that the 2020 election was stolen from him, to believe that January 6th was something, anything other
This
than
guy,
a violent.
he still thinks the I mean, if you could stand on a point and just keep hammering a point that makes no goddamn sense whatsoever, that would be Trump. It's like you win an election and you say it's rigged. What the fuck? Like, this is what the dude is. This is what he's doing. This is him. Like,
Insurrection. But inflation is a different thing. People see the prices going up. They feel the prices going up. And they believe their own eyes, their own experience over anyone else's insistence to the contrary, even if it's the president of the United States telling them that they aren't feeling it.
all right, so there we have it. They're going to keep going on and on and on with this shit, and it's going to be the lies. It's going to be the gaslighting. Hold on, let's hear what Joe Biden had to say real quick.
Dramatically reduced inflation from.
The contrary, they aren't feeling it.
We have dramatically reduced inflation from 9% down to close to 3%.
Has the U.S. beat inflation, Mr. President?
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start right in that way, okay? So economic growth is up. The price of inflation is down. Real incomes are up, and the price of gas is down. Over the last year, prices are down on everyday items from a gallon of gasoline to a gallon of milk. And folks are beginning to feel it.
People didn't believe him then. They're not believing President Trump now. Let's get off the sidelines and head into the arena. My panel is here, Chief Washington Correspondent for Puck News, Leanne Caldwell, CNN Political Director and our Washington Bureau Chief, David Chalian, Democratic strategist Adrian Elrod, Republican strategist and CNN commentators for Michael Singleton. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. David Chalian, I mean, we can't help but flash back to all the times that Joe Biden insisted prices were coming down. Everything was going to be like all of the economic indicators were good.
Right.
People didn't feel it. It seems like the same thing's happening for President Trump.
It is. I mean, Joe Biden may have actually been factually correct with what he was saying with those economic indicators at that time. It did not matter. It doesn't matter what the facts are. What matters is what people are experiencing in their everyday lives. That's the fact that matters.
Right. And so the rules got to change. If someone wants to stay on the MAGA boat, the rule has to change. Now it's like, it's not about what you feel. You can even feel it and say, nah, it's still doing good. And that is full blown cultism. You know, that's what it is to be in a cult. And yeah, this is just some bullshit. You know, I don't see what's going on here. Here's Duffy. He's talking about, some shit he has no experience in, right? Okay, he's putting more pressure on the Dems. We better sign that agreement, otherwise, people ain't going to be able to fly. Well, they came in and they fired people. On day one, Trump was like, fuck TSA. Let's fire these people. They're career people. Let's just go and fire their ass. No problem. And and this is what it's cost them. Hold on. Now, what is this right here? Trump is even trying to go to war against Venezuela. I mean, talk about a president who picks on the little people. I mean, this thing with Venezuela, then he goes and picks on the neighbor, Colombia, who's an ally of ours, right? It's like, just when is this shit going to end? And it never seems to end with Trump. He's going to find some more little people to pick on to avoid, to make sure that he controls the headlines, so you don't have to think about the fact that it's you paying this motherfucker for all this dumb shit. And in fact, that he's not even trying to get you a tax break either. He's not trying to reduce your taxes. He's not trying to get any thing to make your life easier happen for you. No, he wants you paying the same taxes and getting less. And you are already complaining about prices. I mean, this is what it's come down to in the United States, and it's just really sad that things are this way. But let me see something. Where was this? This was the last one. Is this it? Government shutdown? Okay, that was the new plan. So let me pull out of this. Listen, y'all, I appreciate everybody coming out today. Do me a favor. Click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, right? And so we can keep the conversation going. Yo, I actually want to say big respect to all the podcasters that are doing, that are holding the line for the media. There's this cat. What's his name again? Jack Cocciarelli. Is that his name? Cocciarelli, I think. Yo, check out his podcast. He's dope. Who else is it? Let me see here. Who else? It's a few of them. I keep getting the names wrong. What is it? And that is so terrible. Let me see here. Is it? Let me go back here for a second. Can y'all see this? Let me go back and see who is in here. Let me go and just do this real quick. I want to point out a few. Of course, people know the Midas Touch, right? Everybody down with the Midas Touch. I pretty much watch, and I love how they pretty much open the door for many other people. So that's great. But let me see here. There is here we go. Jack Cocciarella. Yo, big up to Jack. Brian Tyler Cohen is on it, but there's also Democracy Docket here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Can y'all see this? Hold on. Wait a second. Sorry. Y'all can see it now. There's Democracy Docket right here. You see that? Let me make that bigger, as a matter of fact, so people can see it. Damn, what happened? Did I do that wrong? Let me get over here. 2 seconds. Where is it at? Right. Let me make this one a little bigger for people, so we can see it. Boom, 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 boom. I hope that's, as a matter of fact, let me do it like this too. Is that bigger? Let me bring it over. Okay. I hope y'all can see that now. So here we go. We got Jack Cocciarella. Big up. He's got some very interesting points. Funny. But I like his style because, he doesn't, he also curses like me. Excuse me if you don't like the cursing, but this is a goddamn time where, fuck it, curse. If you're bringing the hardcore facts, curse, because Trump is cursing on you, taking a piss on you every day. Brian Tyler Cohen, but Democracy Docket. People need, Keith Edwards, big up. Democracy Docket. Who else? There's also iHip podcast. These two ladies, they give really, really good analysis on the state of affairs every day. But Occupy Democrats also. But right here, I want to end it off on this one because Democracy Docket, this one right here is definitely worth checking. Now, let me just pull this up on the screen for you. Everybody go to his channel. If you don't know who Elias is, he is like one of the top attorneys in the U.S. fighting cases in the courts. And he has several cases in the courts right now with Trump. Not several, Loads.
You're thinking, how
Okay.
could it get worse? Oh, it can always
Loads.
get worse.
Can y'all see this?
Republicans can always.
Can y'all see this right now? Hold on, let me see something. Can y'all see this right now? Yeah. Okay. And it's very important. Oh, yo, somebody, let me see, who is that? Sorry about that. I just missed this. Yo, super chat coming from that bits. Oh, that bits. Wow. Yo, please. Whoever supports, that's wonderful. And Bits, thank you for all the support, because Bits has really been going ham in here, like giving out memberships and everything. So I appreciate that so much. Obviously, YouTube doesn't really pay much. I'll put it to you that way. But listen, this guy, thanks Bits. This guy is like one of the main attorneys in the U.S. right now, fighting a lot of cases. And people, just so you know, the cases that he's been fighting are very, very serious, and he's been doing it for a minute.
For the first time.
So I'm just going to rock out on this and let this play out. You need to take note of his channel. It's called Democracy Docket. Can y'all see this right now? Let me see if I can. Can you see it? This is the channel right here. Let me do a thumbs up. It's called Democracy Docket. Now, this is for people that really want to follow the court cases, right? He's an attorney. He's an elite attorney. He has his own law firm, and Mark Elias has been on the forefront of fighting for justice, for the Constitution, for the American people. And so please go check out his channel. And whether you vote for Trump or didn't vote for Trump, whether you're a dependent, a Republican or not, whether you're an American citizen or not, if you want to know what is going on in the courts, this is a channel for you. Democracy Docket. All right. So this one is 8 ways the Republicans will subvert or try to subvert the 2026 election. So let's listen up. And big up again to big up again to Elias here, and because Mark Elias, because there's not that many people who have done as much as he has, and know as much. So let's just listen up.
Barely a Republican Party left in the city of New York. In Mississippi, Mississippi of all places, Democrats flipped some state house seats that broke their supermajority.
And this is from 1 day ago, y'all. So, oh shit, here we go. Sorry about that. I'm gonna let it play.
In the Mississippi state legislature, which is a huge deal if you believe, as I do, that Mississippi is going to be one of the rising battleground states of the South in the very near future. And all of this is before you get to the big ballot initiatives. In California, where Gavin Newsom and Democrats led an effort to redraw that state's congressional maps, it won in a walk. I mean, it just won in an absolute landslide. And in Maine, where Republicans put voter ID on the ballot, that was defeated by an almost identical margin as to what happened in California. If I had done a video a year ago and told you that in California, Democrats would be sponsoring an initiative to undo the nonpartisan commission maps and replace it with partisan maps, and meanwhile, Republicans would be in purple Maine, because Maine is a purple state, sponsoring a voter ID law, you'd say, well, ID laws are really popular, and there's no way in California they're going to ever vote out their nonpartisan redistricting map. Well, you would have been wrong on both accounts, because the complete opposite happened. And so this was a really good night for democracy, but we also learned a ton. Like, for example, don't believe the pundits when they tell you that voter ID is really popular. Okay? The next time you hear a pundit tell you how popular voter ID is, or Republicans try to spin you that, point them to the results in Maine. Like I said, Maine is a purple state. I mean, it has a Republican senator in Susan Collins. One of the 2 congressional districts voted for Donald Trump. This is not a solidly blue state, and yet they said no to voter ID there. And like I said, in California, which you would have assumed would be very, very defensive of what would be seen as a pro-reform democracy, procedural democracy initiative, they voted overwhelmingly in favor of drawing a new map. And believe me, I waited a couple of days before I did this video because I want to let everyone have an opportunity to soak this in and celebrate and enjoy. You know, we beat ourselves up over the close election defeats we have, like the one we had in 2024. So we deserve some time to just bask in the good news of a night in which Democrats just won everything, Republicans won nothing, and democracy was on the ballot in a number of places and prevailed. But I think it's also my obligation to you, the Democracy Docket audience, and really it's a Democracy Docket community at this point, to tell it to you straight. And here's the deal. Donald Trump has not given up on the big lie. Donald Trump has not broken with election denialism. Quite to the contrary. He's doubling down on election denialism. And most importantly, Donald Trump has not stopped trying to rig the 2026 election. What we have already seen since Tuesday night's results is Donald Trump making clear he wants to do more of it. And so in this video, what I really want to do is walk you through what I see coming down the road from Donald Trump, what I think Republicans are going to serve up next. And I do it not to create a sense of hopelessness. Quite to the contrary. If you walk away with hopelessness, then you didn't get the message. This is not a hopeless time. I am hopeful. I am optimistic about the future of Democrats winning elections in 2026. I am optimistic about the future of building a new, stronger democracy after Donald Trump. But all of that starts with us being honest about the challenges we face and talking about what he is going to do so that we can expect it and that we can also take steps to counter it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay out 8 things that I expect to be coming from Donald Trump and the Republicans over the course of the next year. Some of them you have already started to see materialize, but they're going to get worse. Others may sound fanciful, but I promise.
Click the like button, y'all. Click the like button. Listen, everybody that's listening, no matter if you are foreign, if you're in the international world, or if you inside of the U.S., Republican, Democrat, or independent, yo, Mark Elias is about to break it down, and he's one of the top leading attorneys in fighting in the courts. You see what I mean? And he has, I don't know, 100 different cases across the country, you know, regarding issues of democracy, voting rights. So pay attention to what he's about to break down, y'all. And his page is Democracy Docket. It is right here for people to see. See that? Democracy Docket. So go and subscribe, because he really is, when you're hearing his analysis, you're hearing from a lawyer that is in the courts actively right now, in a law firm that is in the courts. He's not the only one, but he's definitely on the forefront. You cannot sleep on this guy. So
before we get to next November in 2026, you're going to see all 8 of these things. So I'm going to go through them in order, not necessarily the most important or the least important, but it's a logical order that makes sense to me, and I hope you will agree. I also hope you will agree to take this opportunity to support Democracy Docket. You know, I started Democracy Docket in 2020 to be a voice for democracy, to be unapologetic and unafraid, to never bow down, to never back away from a fight, and to not be compromised by corporate overlords or billionaire backers. It survives because people like you support it. And so if you can, become a premium member today by clicking on the link in the description of this episode. If you can't afford the $10 a month, become a free subscriber. That link is also in the description below. All right, so the first thing we need to expect and we need to prepare for is that Republicans are going to claim that Tuesday's victory was the product of fraud. I know you're saying, Mark, but how come they haven't already done it? Well, first of all, they sort of have. I mean, the fact is Donald Trump, before the election, claimed that the California election would be the result of fraud. He posted on social media. I wrote about it in Democracy Docket. People who are already subscribers will have read what I wrote, and it was just recounting how he had already, before the election had taken place, said that there was going to be fraud in California. And he used it as another justification to bash mail-in voting and to try to target other forms of voting that he doesn't like. On election day, there were a number of reports that I received of prominent Republicans and conservatives claiming that there was fraud going on election day. We heard these reports in Pennsylvania. We heard these reports in New Jersey. We heard some reports, although less confirmed, in Virginia. So the right-wing disinformation, misinformation machine was running full throttle on election day. What happened is they lost by a huge margin. And so when Donald Trump woke up on the morning following the election, he had a choice. He could either say this was the product of fraud and have to somehow explain how that fraud led his candidates to lose by like 15 points, 17 points, and that was just implausible even for him. And the problem for him is that if he did that, he would have to own some responsibility in the outcome of the election. So he went with option B, which was to just say, yep, these were the results and it wasn't my fault, it was other people's. It was bad candidates in Virginia, bad candidates in New York, bad candidates in New Jersey. And then to just sort of ignore the fact that he, in fact, was what was dragging the Republican brand down. So that's what he went with. So the reason why he didn't claim fraud in the immediate aftermath of the election was only because he made a strategic decision that it would be better for his own brand, better for his ability to keep his Republican Party on a short leash and keep Mike Johnson, the Speaker, and John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, beholden to him. For him to not claim.
This is Mark Elias. He's got like hundreds of cases right now defending democracy in the U.S. justice system, right, against this administration. So people pay attention, no matter where you're from, the international world, no matter what. Now, listen, he's one of the leaders fighting this. So what he's saying out of experience, his own law firm and being an attorney, like he's in the trenches. So if you ever listen to anybody, listen to this guy because he's going to break down. It's simple. 8 ways Republicans will try to subvert the 2026 election. So no matter who you are, just hold out and listen to the guy because it's likely he has more experience than you, even if you don't like him. So let's just pay attention.
Claim fraud, but rather to say, yeah, the elections went really badly, but it was everyone's fault but my own.
And please click the like button, y'all.
But this is the thing. He's not going to be able to do that in 2026, and he knows that. In 2026, the stakes are really high. I mean, Donald Trump probably would prefer a Republican governor in New Jersey and a Republican governor in Virginia, but honestly, it doesn't really affect his life. It does affect his life whether there are more Democrats or more Republicans in the Senate, and it does affect his life who has the gavel, whether it's Speaker Johnson or Speaker Jeffries. So when it comes to 2026, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to double down, triple down on the big lie in the same way he did in 2020, in the same way he did in 2022. You see, people forget that he did that in 2022, but I don't forget. And I hope you don't forget. Right? That was the narrative that came out of 2022 when Joe Biden was president and Democrats did better than expected. We had Kerry Lake claiming fraud. Cochise County, Arizona wasn't certifying elections. We had claims of fraud in Pennsylvania. There were counties there not willing to certify elections. Like we had a lot of that. And so that's what we're going to look for 2026. And I predict that we're not going to get that much further from 2025 before the emergence of a fraud narrative comes out of 2025. Like in a few weeks, in a month or 2 months, people will forget exactly what the margins were. They'll forget exactly how many seats were picked up here and there. And you'll start to see Donald Trump claim that 2025 we saw fraud. And he's going to use that as a lever, as a jumping off point to argue for more restrictions of voting rights. More restrictions of voting rights in states controlled by Republican governors and legislatures where they can do it by law. More restrictions in voting rights where the Department of Justice, which is entirely under his control, can take action. We're going to see him call for more restrictions in voting rights through executive actions. But the fraud narrative has not ended, right? It's just he has abandoned it tactically, but not strategically in the here and now. Which brings me to the second thing we're going to see, which is that Donald Trump is going to try to ban several popular methods of voting, okay? Several. Not one, not just vote by mail, but also early vote.
Yep. Let's listen.
Also using certain voting equipment. Also making voter registration more difficult. Also trying to institute nationwide photo ID requirements. And all of those things will be targeting Democratic voters to benefit Republicans. Okay, Now, listen to me here. These are going to be targeting Democratic voters to benefit Republicans. Stop with the nonsense that this may backfire on them. They know which method of voting Democrats use. They know what the pain points are for Republicans.
So you see that? Like, yeah, exactly. He's saying this idea that it's going to backfire on them. Don't sit back, people. Do not sit back and be non-active. Like, be active right now. Stay in the streets every second of the way, every step of the way, every turn that they make. Meet them there. And also the Supreme Court. Like, don't be afraid to, be in front of that Supreme Court in D.C., like calling them out for being what they are. That is government cheese welfare recipients. You pay their tax dollars. Without you, they don't have a fucking job. And let me tell you, American citizens can impeach Supreme Court justices, especially when they take bribes under the table and especially when they conspire against the Constitution of the United States. So they can be impeached just like a president can. The only thing you need is the supermajority in the House or in the Senate on any given moment, and you can get rid of a whole lot of heads. Outside of that, don't be afraid to go in your state. Find out where your state representative is and be like, bang, bang, bang. God damn it, you're eating off my government cheese. I'm paying your salary, and what the fuck are you doing? But listen, let's check this out. Not to stop it, but stand up. Don't for any second think that they didn't have this plan already developed and that they're not going to throw the rest of it right now in your face, because Trump is super duper desperate. And as you know, his sycophants have already said, who is this bimbo that had that podcaster channel, this dude bimbo? He's a male bimbo, by the way, who said, if Trump doesn't get elected, we all going to jail. Watch.
And they are not going to exacerbate the pain points for Republicans. They're only going to target Democrats. That is why you continue to see this obsession with vote by mail. Why? Because Democrats disproportionately use voting by mail. You're going to see the elimination or the restriction on drop boxes. Why? Because Democrats make greater use of drop boxes, and Democratic constituencies require more drop boxes. They're going to target early voting. Why? Because more Democratic voters tend to vote early, right? If you look at the election results.
And just remember, if any of that is not defended instantly by the Supreme Court, matter of fact, the Supreme Court needs to be issuing some statements right now, like hands off all that shit, Trump. Hands off any type of voter intimidation. Hands off any type of getting rid of voting rights, period. No matter what it is, just get rid of it, because they know that the person that is asking for it could be the criminal of the century, could be the person committing treason, could be a person who's a pedophile himself, but it's definitely been the best friend of the United States' most prolific pedophile sex trafficker, right? Who likely is the most prolific blackmailer of whoever is involved with them thousands of little girls. Could be any Supreme Court justice, could be any congressional member. I mean, do you defend a person like Donald Trump if you don't know someone involved in the Epstein files, or if you're not in it yourself? Who the fuck defends a person like this? If you're not in the files, why would you defend it? Or if someone that you know is not in the files, like a donor, why would you defend it? It makes no sense.
Even in New Jersey and Virginia and New York, where the Democrats all won in large margins, if you looked only at election day voting, it's a very different picture. They're going to target these other kinds of voting because they believe it's going to help them win in 2026. It's not more complicated than that. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, they're going to throw everything at the wall.
There's no jurisprudential argument behind it. There's no big think behind it. There's no policy debate behind it. It is the exercise of pure political power to try to keep control of Congress in 2026. By the way, one of the
if they lose control of Congress, and if you get a supermajority in Congress or in the Senate, you can impeach anybody. You can impeach judges. You can impeach the president. You can impeach the entire cabinet. You can impeach every motherfucking body that's corrupt. And let me tell you, anytime you got a person like Elon Musk given a pass to walk in the Treasury, that means a whole lot of corruption exists. Anytime you're covering up Epstein files, still 9 months into an administration that said they were going to release them, that means there's a whole lot of corruption going on. A whole lot. And guess who's paying for it? Guess who's bearing the burden of it? Guess who's working every day for somebody else's bullshit ass? That's you. You're paying the price. The taxpayer is paying the price. You're paying the price for a pedophile, possibly. For a pedophile who's being corrupt, getting paid off of your tax dollars, eating steak in your face while he's talking about getting rid of your goddamn, getting rid of old people's SNAP benefits. I mean, anytime you see this out blatantly in public, something is very, very wrong.
Quickest dying narratives of my entire political career. And I've represented
Exactly. We the people pay the price, straight up.
probably thousands of campaigns at this point in my career. I've done hundreds of cases of litigation involving the outcome, things that could affect the outcome of elections. One of the quickest dying narratives was this idea that young voters had swung Republicans, that Latino voters had swung Republican, that even we saw black voters swinging Republican. It turns out that was all bullshit. Okay, so the voter suppression that is aimed at black voters and Latino voters and young voters, those are still going to be targeting those populations because those populations vote more for Democrats than for Republicans. This is a point I made in earlier videos. Even in 2024, you might have seen those margins shift to be less, but they were still more Democratic than Republican. And after 2025, that is going to be even more clear as we head towards the midterm. So,
all right. So listen, folks, everybody, my suggestion is no matter where you are on earth, if you want to know what's going on in the court system, follow Democracy Docket, Mark Elias, man, because his firm is fighting over 100 cases in the courts right now. But not only that, he's been in the courts. I mean, he's really one that is on the front line. So I put the link in the chat, and please follow it because I obviously I can't play the whole video here, but he lays out 8 points that people should check up on. This video is from yesterday. So do yourself a favor. If you want to know what the fuck you're talking about regarding any shit in the courts, regarding what's going on, you might want to follow this guy. You might want to listen to this guy so you don't come off sounding like a fool. You see what I mean? Now, again, click the like button, subscribe to my channel. For those of you that don't know, I'm an American citizen, but I live abroad. Born and raised in Washington, D.C., both sides of my family are from the colonial period in the United States. I'm speaking up because, yes, the taxes I pay go to shit most Americans, if they had any sense in their brain, would want their taxes to go to. The place where I live, 70 to 75% of the taxes we pay go directly back to impacting our lives here on the ground, everyday life in our communities. That's a country called Denmark. That's not the United States of America. United States, at best, 50% of your taxes go to impact your life before Donald Trump came into office in any way, shape, or form. You should probably want that percentage to be much higher if you're going to pay the taxes. If you're going to pay the taxes, you might want a little more than 50% to go to impact your direct life, because as soon as you leave the United States of America, that percentage goes up. Canada, UK, France, it doesn't even matter. All across NATO nations, more of the tax dollars go to benefit the people's direct lives. That's why they have shit like healthcare, universal healthcare. That's why they have shit like universal education. You see what I mean? That's why prisons ain't so big. You see what I'm saying? And it's a whole lot of motherfucking white boys in prison. You should probably care about, do they have an education? You know what I mean? If you don't care about the others. If you're a MAGA supporter, if you don't care about the others, you might want to start caring about them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need help too. You see what I mean? The last thing I want to say is big up to the podcasters. Now, this, y'all, to get through these hard times, because there's going to be more hard times, and there's going to be a year of this. Folks are going to have to dig deep. But one thing is, don't be fooled by the messaging. Yo, take care of each other. Love each other. Look past your color. Look past your gender. Look past people's sexuality and all this other shit that doesn't concern you, that nobody's fucking forcing you to engage in. Think about, you need clean water. You need access to education. You need access to health care. Your parents need access to health care when they're old. Your kids need access to health care. Think about, the basic things. Food on the table, a decent job, a job that pays the motherfucking bills. Way too many people in the U.S. find working 3 jobs, paying taxes, and not being able to keep a roof over their heads normal without government subsidies. Why is that normal? If you work 3 jobs, you shouldn't need 1 government subsidy. But where is that happening? All across the country. But where the most? Red states. Like, what's going on? So love each other. Don't fall for the bullshit. Do not fall for the bullshit, because that's exactly what they want you to fall for. They want you to fall for hate of each other. They want you to go for the okie doke. They want you going at each other, because then it's easier for these billionaires to own your ancestors' birthright, because that is exactly what they're going for. You have to understand this. If they control and take the United States government, disband the Constitution, and take it from the American people, things will not be good for you at all. You must understand that. And things will not be good for anybody else, because everyone else on earth will be in fear of that. You have to understand that. So American citizens, whether you're MAGA, whether you're Republican, fuck MAGA, because they don't exist anymore, but whether you're a Republican, because those are at least regular people, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, understand you in the fight for your country. Who owns your country? Is it the taxpayers, or is it a handful of billionaires? You be the judge. Are you gonna continue to treat women like shit? I mean, are you going to continue to treat poor people? Their family members could have fought in the Civil War, fought in Vietnam, any of this shit, and then you're going to treat their descendants like shit just because they're having bad luck? Like, come on, y'all, stand up for each other, make better choices, and make the choices to really put Americans first, because Americans could be first in every way. We could be the ones living the best lifestyle. We should be the ones living the best lifestyle. But let me tell you, as an American living outside of the United States of America, I can tell you straight up, 100%, that American citizens are not living the best lifestyle right now of Western people on earth. We are just simply not. So wake up to that, and I'm gonna catch up with you guys later on today. I appreciate everybody for coming out. So big up. Click the like button. I'm out. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Release the Epstein files. You know what I'm saying? Release the Epstein files. Your ass depends on it. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
They want war. Crime babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe. People subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every crew. Don't let it go. It's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and up and we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die. You voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war. All they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. All they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a loaded Lotus coming out of the mud with colors. I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers, cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TV's whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't stare, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't stare. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. Them diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. All they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. Them diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. MC when he bustin', but I just back away real cool, no fussin'. I'd rather go kicking in the streets with the bums and use the knowledge to collect what? Some funds, open a non-profit and build a damn school. And this is the story of how a great king rules. There's many that claim to know the local demographic, but don't have the nerve to tell you the truth. It's tragic, but I do, so sit back and let me spit this shit to you. You feel better when I spit this shit to you. Despite the system trying to clamp down on the people will learn how to stand up to evil. Not evil that's across the globe, that's too far, but evil lies in their own backyard. And fighting, it's not an option, they can't win. The government, it's not supposed to represent sin, but then again they do, and that's a problem. So let's go down and figure out how to solve them. It's not fun being a rapper that can't speak, but